Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the morning show with Boomer and Gio.
All right, it's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, working hard on the show today. Eddie Scazzeri, Al Dukes, Jerry Recco, Tom Izzo. Talk to you tomorrow, 5 a.m. at the warm-up show. We're all back together at 6. You got BT and Sal coming up next. Evan and Tiki at 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow morning. As always, New York.
Side effects include your scrotum being eaten by flesh-eating bacteria.
And this report brought to you by Flushing Bank. The Mets moving 10 games over 500 with their win in Detroit on Monday. It was a big day for Juan Soto. A couple of hits, being a grand slam and a triple. He drove in 6 of the 10 runs. Here's his manager, Carlos Mendoza. He is on right now.
Just so many things he can do offensively when he's at the plate that is just really impressive. I remember a couple months into he was talking about the struggle for Juan Soto, and he was still having like an 850 OPS. So it's just now is the complete package. So it's pretty impressive.
Luis Torrens with a 2-run double. The Mets needed a lot out of the bullpen because it was another poor start from Sean Manaea tonight. Nolan McLean makes the start. First pitch and 6 at 6:40 on Mets Odyssey Radio. The Mets 6 games behind the Phillies, who did win last night as they beat Milwaukee. They remain 4 ahead of the Reds, who beat Toronto, which means the Yankees pulled another half game within the Blue Jays for first place in the AL East. Now 2.5 out. Yankees and Astros in Houston tonight. Max Fried taking on Framber Valdez on the Fan coming up later at 8:10. And college football, the big debut for Bill Belichick as the head coach at North Carolina. Not great, to say the least. They lost to TCU big, 48-14. This report brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise. It's 68 in Central Park, and that's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, now streaming on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
It's Brandon Tierney and Sal Licata on WFAN The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always live on the free Odyssey app.
You can feel it in the air, BT. We are days away from the kickoff to the NFL season. Jets, Giants, Sunday. And while there is excitement, and understandably so, I'm excited for the football season as well. I do think that there needs to be a dose of reality as we get started here the day after Labor Day. Looking forward to talking all the baseball. We'll get into that as we get the push for the postseason, and football season, as we mentioned, started. It seems like the Giant fans think they're going to win these first couple of games. Seems like Jets fans think things are going to be way better than they were with Aaron Rodgers. Not so fast. I'm excited for the season. I don't believe in these two teams to the level that many apparently do before we even get started.
There's a lot of excitement. By the way, this is one of my favorite days to be on the air. I absolutely love coming back from Labor Day. You're right. Yanks, Mets, football. It is on. It's awesome to be back. Listen, my excitement, and I share in a lot of the enthusiasm that a lot of the Jets and Giants fans have. I don't mean when the level that has been hijacked for some, where we're just bonkers in terms of expectations, which aren't realistic yet. But I think what's galvanized me for both of these teams is the buttoned-up nature to the off seasons. I think that's a starting point where now you feel a little stability. From a Jets perspective, Sal, the focus wasn't on a 40-year-old quarterback coming off a ruptured Achilles who is bigger than the team, in terms of Aaron Rodgers. And really for both teams, the offseason conversations weren't about, all right, when is this guy going to get fired, which GM, which coach, and what kind of leash does Dable have, how long is Sal going to get? It's that, to me, is a good starting point. And then, obviously, you start to look at the rosters, and, there's some questions, but there's certain strengths as well. As long as the Jet and the Giant fan aren't walking around today saying, we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going to win, I think enthusiasm is fine.
Right, but
I really do.
Well, yes, enthusiasm about the season starting is fine. Reality as to what these teams will be. Let's start with the Jets. You mentioned them first. Like the excitement should be because it's a breath of fresh air, new regime. Yeah. Let's see what they can do. That does not mean that they're going to win. Like I can make a good argument the Jets are going to go 0-3 out of the gate. Like where are we getting that the Jets are good? That's what I'd like to know. What idea? Like I like what Aaron Glenn has said. I like what he's done. I like the fact that they're built to the offensive line. They have a quarterback who can't throw the football. They have a defense that's been overrated for how many years? So, where are we getting the win projection total for the Jets and Giants, both not very good. I don't look at the schedule and say it's a favorable schedule. So, I think that there can be excitement and enthusiasm for a new regime, a new head coach, a new feel, just a change of pace, breath of fresh air. But how exactly is that going to result in wins come Sunday?
Okay, I'm going to start with the Jets here. You bring them up. And we'll get to the Giants in a second because I have reasons for both. So from a Jets perspective, if you look at what plagued the Jets for years, it was sloppiness, it was penalties. And you're right. And you said this for a while, like the defense was overrated in a sense. Like we'd come into some of these seasons saying Jets going to be top 3, top 5. It never really materialized. But to me, there was reasons why it never really materialized because the offense couldn't stay on the field for more than 90 seconds, and the defense was huffing and puffing, and then when you get tired, you make sloppy mistakes, you commit penalties, and you miss tackles. So I think with the Jets' offensive line and the Jets' decision, which is a wise one, and I do believe this will be a successful one, to run the football old school is going to keep the defense fresh, and they got players. It's not like I don't look at the Jets' defense and say, well, you need 5 or 6 guys to overachieve for them to be a good unit. What I'm seeing is, and it's been on tape enough over the last couple of years, although it's been undone by the reasons I just said. Like the Jets are trotting out 5, 6 guys who are highly above average. Now, the scheme and all the other things, I don't know, but it's based in, I believe, for me, enough reality where if other guys, namely the offense, if they do their job, Jets defense is going to be good. And it's not going to be like, see, this is the other thing, too. When you look at the NFL, the modern NFL, most fans, fantasy, betting, over-unders, aesthetics, it's always about offense, score, drive, fast, score. The Jets are going to play a very different style of football this year, and I believe that it could very well be very successful.
I like but based on what is what I'm saying. Like, I like the idea of the way that they're building it. It's year one.
I get it.
Of a brand new regime with a quarterback who's had some issues in his prior stop. So, it's not like even if they had a rookie quarterback, at least you'd have the excitement of that. Okay, let's see what he has. You're not going to be expecting wins, but they're in a spot where they're trying to build it the right way. Finally, solid foundation. That I get. But the wins, I don't get where we're getting that idea from. It's the same players, a lot of the same players, even in the preseason. Aaron Glenn talked about it before they played a game in the preseason, talking about cleaning up the penalties and all that stuff. They were still getting penalized left and right.
I know.
You could say it. I've heard plenty of coaches throughout the course of the NFL's history say, we got to clean things up, but I'm not going to accept these penalties. And then they go out there, and it's still the same stuff.
I get it.
I want to believe in the Jets. I want to see good football. I need to actually see it. And then I look at the schedule. I think they're going to get beat by Aaron Rodgers in week 1. The Bills are near impossible in week 2.
They always beat the Jets. They always beat the Bills. They beat them with Zach Wilson. That Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking at that schedule thing, and they could be in trouble. Now, excited for the season? Yes, just overall. Even if it's the best case scenario. If the Jets win 7 games this year, I think that's a success with Aaron Glenn leading the way.
I'd have to see how it happens. I actually think they could win more.
Right.
Like if they start out really slow and let's use this model. Jets are 0-3, penalties still not taken care of yet. The running game not getting off the ground. And then all of a sudden, and they're 0-3. Then all of a sudden things starts to click a little bit and you start to see what I think many of us think that will be their style of play. And the sloppiness and the penalties evaporate, well, then if it becomes 7 wins after a bad start and the progress is very identifiable, to me, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying 10 or 11 wins. See, I boil it down to this, and it's going to take a lot to get here, but to me, you either have the horses to get there or you don't. You have to have the players, and for 2 units, I'm going to reference, and then you obviously have to get it done. Like having the players, like the Jets have had players on defense for years, and they haven't done anything well for reasons that we know. To me, the Jets' offensive line, and I've said this really all summer, The Jets O-line's going to have a chance to be top 10. I don't mean like 4 or 5. 8, 9. Justin Fields ran for 1,000 yards a couple of years ago, and the Jets are going to run it 30-something times a game. When you do that, the other team's not scoring as much. Your defense is fresh. So anyway, and that's all common. I know you guys know that, but that's how they're going to try to win. So if the Jets on paper, and again, paper means nothing so you actually get it done, but I couldn't say this last year. It was more about Rodgers saving them. The Jets O-line has a chance to be a top 10 unit, and I believe the Jets defense has a chance to be a back-end top 10 unit. The other stuff, the penalties, Aaron Glenn's first year. Does anybody compliment Garrett Wilson? I'm not. Do they have a tight end, Mason Taylor, to evolve? I'm not saying there's no things to worry about, but the core of football, can you run the ball and can you stop your opponent? The Jets can, in my opinion.
Which should build a solid floor for them. That's what I'm looking to see, the floor being raised this year in year one with Muji and Aaron Glenn and obviously Justin Fields. As for the Giants, I think it's a little bit different. Now, I still think a lot of fans, like the expectation maybe 3 weeks ago was, all right, well, let's see what we have right now. Forget about Jackson Dart for a second because he's not starting, and that's a whole nother conversation. I think the expectation now is turned to where Giant fans think they're going to win the first 2 games of the year. Now, they might. I looked at the schedule a couple of weeks ago myself and said, you know what? The Commanders aren't going to be as good as everybody thought. The
I agree with you on
Cowboys be vulnerable. We talked about that weeks ago. But now it's like, well, it's expected. And here's what I'd say the difference, though, between the Jets and the Giants is that we're in year 4 of Brian Daboll. And obviously there have been some inconsistencies, the ups, the downs, the even farther down than you wanted to be down. But they rode through the storm. And if I'm a believer in Daboll, and you know that I have been, even though last year they gave me no reason to, got to a point I had to wave the white flag. I looked like an idiot.
Tap out time.
Yeah, I backed Daboll. They can't win a game here. So, but I'm back to being a believer in Brian Daboll, less Joe Shane, but we're going to see about this roster. I'm more excited about them. Remember, year 4, we in a regime is a totally different evaluation than where we're at with year 1 with the Jets. For the Giants to have a truly successful season, 2 things. Either they have to win games and compete for a playoff spot, or they have to clearly develop Jackson Dart in year 1. That's the way that I'm looking at this. And I think that they can win some football games here with Russell Wilson and maybe a favorable schedule, at least in the beginning. But you're going to know early on, BT. If they don't win these first 2 games, they're going to be in big trouble, and then it's going to be all about Jackson Dart.
I think the Giants' defense is going to win some games single-handedly. I really do. And if not, then I think we just really overrated the Giants' defense. Giants are lining up 4 or 5 guys who are absolute studs. Now, I want to see a little more all-around play from Thibodeau, but I'll still call him a stud because the one thing that he does really well, he does really well. Now, for that to work, you got to have leads and all the other things, blah, blah, blah. But like the Jets, although I don't quite see the balance that I see potentially with the Jets for the Giants, meaning I think the Jets offense and the Jets defense could be both, better than whatever we think or what some people think. I don't know that the Giants go out there and sling it and put up, a ton of points here, but I don't know how this Giants pass rush does not absolutely destroy opposing quarterbacks. And if they don't, then they're either running the wrong scheme, they got the wrong defensive coordinator, they got the wrong coaches, or then we just completely grossly overrated the Giants defense. When the Giants are good, which I don't think we are, when the Giants are good, yeah, Phil was amazing, and Tiki was amazing, and some other offensive players, Toomer was good, etc. Shockey was a beast. We know, okay? When the Giants are good, it always comes from the defense. And this defense, dude, they are going to destroy some quarterbacks.
Yeah, now for me, before I get there, I need to actually see it because we heard about it last year. I need to see the Giants defense, and Daboll's an offensive coach, so I think the offense will be better. How much better? Who knows? I still don't have high expectations. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. I do think you're going to see a much better season. And if you're a believer in Daboll like I was, now's not the time to jump off. Yeah. Even though you can make the argument for a change last year just because of a fresh start, not necessarily he can't coach, fresh start, draft a young quarterback, because now you have to see this thing through. It can't just be this year with Daboll and Shane. They got to be beyond and see Jackson Dart through.
And we've talked about that, and it seems like Mara is freed up, and he is now, I don't know how it was intimated to Daboll, but I'm sure that it was. I mean, because if you start coaching for your job now, then you sabotage something that could potentially be very good. So I'm with you. It feels different. That's why one of the reasons why I'm optimistic here, because as I said to start this whole conversation, like this is a quiet off season. It was a buttoned up off season. It was off season with plan and purpose and focus and no stupid noise, which is great. Sometimes the noise kind of gets you jacked up and makes you feel better or tougher than you are, but really it leads nowhere too often. It's been stable. And think about how we started this, Sal. There's a big difference. Everybody's enthusiastic for the return of football. The fantasy lineups, get the sandwich on Sundays. You do like 5 or 6 TVs, whatever games you're betting. We'll do our picks on Friday. What I'm saying is that's a given. Even when the Jets had, Adam Gase as the head coach and going back to Ray Hanley for the Giants. I'm always enthusiastic about football like everybody because I love football. I actually think both of these teams could be pretty decent. I do.
BT and Sal on the Fan. NFL Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Ray is in Babylon starting us off. What's up, Ray?
I can't wait. I'm going to say this at the end of the season or even the mid-October. I'm going to say, I can't wait because this Jet team, I'm going to declare it, September 2nd, 2025, we're going to the playoffs.
Here we
and
go.
We're going to do it. And we're going to do it on the shoulders of this.
What's that?
Yes, we are.
Yep,
we're going to do it on the shoulders of this offensive line. We got a healthy Tucker. Tippmann, I think, is going to show us some real blocking that we're going to need for Fields. And I'm telling you, this offensive line is a line that's full throttle. They're going to blast through the NFL. And I'm telling you, I'm declaring it, this offensive line is going to carry this New York Jet team to the playoffs. I can't wait till Sunday.
And
one other point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't wait. Ray, I can't wait for your calls back after week 3 when they're 0-3.
You're going to have to amend it? Come on, Ray. Stay firm, Ray.
I can't wait, Sal.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm going to tell you one more thing. The biggest improvement that the Jets have made, number one, we got a coach, and we got an attitude adjustment, getting rid of Rodgers, and I can't wait to see him on Sunday. Me and the Barbarians are going to tear it up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Rodgers got a little something waiting for him. I've got no ill will toward Aaron. He tried his best. His body betrayed him, whatever. That's when we move on. But, now I just want to just beat a 40-year-old quarterback. Although a franchise who's well coached and has a good defense and all the things Steelers bring to the table. You know what, though? And this goes back to something I said before, and it's probably goes back to the evolution of fantasy. Like, we become so enamored, and I get it, because from a Jets and a Giants perspective, too often we've been on the side of the road watching, like, Sunday Night Football, lesser Monday, but Sunday, the prime matchups, and seeing all this galaxy of stars that all the other franchises have, and it's quarterbacks, and it's receivers, and it's these offensive lines. We don't have that. The Jets and the Giants don't have that. But and just based on Ray's call, what the Jets do have, they have the component that you without it, you can't win. You could try to disguise it. You could try to be cute. You try to work around it. But the Jets have finally devoted premium draft equity to getting an offensive line. And as I said before, like when the Giants are good, it's led by the defense. When the Jets have been good this century, and they've been good a couple times this century, it's because they got 2 or 3 guys up front who are really, really good offensive linemen that allow you to control the game. And then you go from there, and there's a million different things that could happen. But that's a starting point. For me, that's non-negotiable that they haven't had basically for 10 years.
Matt is calling from Brick, New Jersey. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, good. That last call made my day. It's the best. That's the best. Listen, let's take one step at a time. BT, love the enthusiasm. Listen, you got a new coach. You got a mediocre quarterback. Offensive line we worked on. I know the fans want it. He just said it. Let's get to a playoff game. What are we doing here? Let's wait for week 1. Everyone was so excited for Aaron Rodgers. Then they kicked him out because his body did fail. Everyone's so worried about Sauce Gardner, but he couldn't cover. He can't cover a grocery bag right now. Let's just worry about week 1, move it forward, and get it going. Welcome back to football.
Yeah.
But just because now you got a defensive-minded coach every 3 years, if the Jets go 0-3, 0-4, or 1-3, they're going to crucify this guy.
Well,
let's just sit back and relax.
That you can't do. I'm with you, Matt, and thank you for the call as far as lowering the expectations with both these teams. Like, think about now. I do think, and we'll get to this. We'll take a break and come back and maybe answer this question on the other side. I do think there are different levels of success for each team. Forget about even the postseason for a second, but that's what it feels like. I'm excited for the NFL, just like you are, BT, just like everybody else is, whether it's fantasy, gambling, watching the games that you said before. There's a difference between that and being realistic about what our football teams, 2 of them here, can do. Because they have sucked for how many years? I was with you. The first year with Rodgers. Here we go. Jets, Super Bowl. I love Aaron Rodgers. Can't wait. This is a great move. Even believing in Dable with the Giants. And then it fell flat. Dable and the Giants have gotten progressively worse. And Aaron Rodgers and the Jets failed for multiple different reasons. It wasn't just Rodgers' fault, obviously. But does that mean that they're all of a sudden now going to turn around and be legit playoff contenders each year? There's no way I can let myself get there now.
Understood. It doesn't mean that, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen. And it's not just about, anybody can say that, well, anything can happen, flip a coin, sure. But at least for me, it's rooted a little bit more in the reality of how they've been built here and what seems to have been a very stabilizing offseason for both teams. I understand the Giants' schedule is brutal. I understand that, Andrew Thomas, God forbid if he goes down, it changes everything about their season. I get it. I understand that I'm going to be coming in here on Mondays or flipping on the pod on Killable on Sundays, and it's 3rd and 7, and Justin Fields has to thread a needle, and he misses a receiver, whomever it is, by 3 yards because he can't throw. I get that. I really do. I get all that. But this is not false. I really mean this. This is not false manufacturing of emotion. I've said this all summer, and the word I've used is bullish. I'm bullish on the Jets, and I'm bullish on the Giants to slowly remove the stench of what has engulfed both teams, and you do that by winning games. And I happen to think they're going to win more than you. We'll find out, but I'm pumped. I'm excited for both seasons. I really am. I think the arrow's finally going up for both of them. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan. Great to be back. We'll get to those Yanks and Mets later. Hey, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if you win, you can unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. And listen, this app is simple. There's a million ways to go. Parlays, player props, ride the live lines. That's always fun. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. A lot of juice coming up. The NFL season's finally here. And the only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/BT to download the FanDuel app. It's simple. It is so easy to navigate. It's easy. And get started. All right, that's FanDuel.com/BT. We love it around here. It is safe and secure. And when you win, you get paid right away. So, FanDuel, as you know by now, the official partner of us here at WFAN, 21+, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There's a line drive right field. That ball is hammered.
The Yankees are in Texas taking on the Astros. 8:10 tonight. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit flushingbank.com today. Member FDIC.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painter's Trust kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy. When I was a young clinician practicing as a physical therapist, I used to see people come into the clinic and say to myself, these simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury, such as strengthening, flexibility, balance. My physical therapist and myself are here to treat you. If you get injured with a slip or fall around the house, or you strain your low back, or you happen to hurt your knee golfing, JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top-notch equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at JAG Physical Therapy.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Find excellence in every detail in a new Volvo. At Volvo Cars Ramsey, 8-time winner of the Volvo Excellence Award. Choose from excellent offers on a new Volvo XC40, XC60, or a new 2025 Volvo XC90. View our entire inventory at VolvoCarsRamsey.com. Find excellence in a new Volvo at Volvo Cars Ramsey, where it's all about you.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Son.
Town Fair Tire has the area's largest inventory of name brand tires at discount prices, including Michelin tires, which give you the perfect match. A relaxing driving experience from your vehicle, along with all-season design for superior performance that stands out from the crowd. And Town Fair stands out from other dealers with a guaranteed lowest price on Michelin tires and gives you more free services for life than anywhere. Nobody beats a Town Fair tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Eight 808-1019 is the number to call. Don't worry, we'll get to the Mets and their starting rotation, and of course, Soto, who all of a sudden is joining the MVP conversation. So we'll have some fun with that coming up in about a half hour. Back to the football here, BT, as we get set for week 1. Jets and Steelers, Giants and Commanders, just days away. Obviously, Thursday night, you got the opener, Eagles and Cowboys. Looking forward to that. NFL season is back. How many wins, starting off of the, yes, we're all excited for it, but you got to be realistic and low, to me, have realistic expectations going in. What do you think would constitute a successful season for each, the Jets and the Giants. Start with the Jets first because that's kind of the way we started the show.
I'd say their ceiling for me is probably not an 8, 9 wins.
Not ceiling. What do you think would be successful for you, BT, to say, okay, you know what? The Jets have had a successful season.
I'd probably say 8 and 9, assuming they get off to a little bit of a rough start. And then it's evident that as the year progresses, the penalties are going away, the offensive line gels, all that good stuff there. So I'd say in the neighborhood of 8. Listen, and also in a more nebulous matter, like without an actual win total.
Hey, you don't have to put a win total. That's fine.
I don't think it's crazy. Now, I don't know if I feel this way for the Giants. We'll get to them in a minute. But I don't think it's crazy to think that the Jets in December, like in early December, or at least on the periphery of that last wild card. Like, I don't think that's – I don't want to say I expect it, but it's attainable. Like, it's not nuts.
You see, for me, that is nuts. It doesn't mean that it won't happen. But to me, that I'm not even – from a Jets perspective, I'm not even thinking playoffs. If it happens, obviously great. I'm thinking, okay, year one to clean up the continued mess that's been going on for years. Have a guy in here that's no nonsense, buttoned up, build it the right way with the foundation of the offensive line, run the football. I want to just see clean, sound, competitive football week in and week out. They could go 6-11, and I could sit here and say, you know what? I'm happy with the 6-11 because I see the worm starting to turn with this organization led by Glenn and Muji and what they've done in building the offensive line. Then next year, on top of what you do this year, then next year is okay, now playoffs should be the goal. This is year one. So for me, it's not about a win total. It's about cleaning up the nonsense, maybe seeing Sauce Gardner play much better brand of football, how they're going to utilize Garrett Wilson. They just paid these guys, make use of them. While, obviously, you could try to win some games, but I'm not looking at just the wins. I'm looking at cleaning. Sometimes it takes years. I'm looking at cleaning up the mess and building a solid, consistent foundation with the Jets in year one.
I think that's smart, and I'm looking for the same thing, too. I think I'm placing a little more value on the trenches, early on, which is why I think the Jets have a chance to win a few more games than you do. Listen, I think, too, when you look at – anytime you want to look at a win total-ish, kind of get in the neighborhood, you have to look at, of course, the schedule, but also the division, right? Now, everybody respects the Bills. We wish we had the Bills team. Like, the Bills are really, really good. But even when the Jets have been a disjointed disaster with a child as a head coach who just couldn't coach grown men.
Yeah.
They still beat the Bills once a year. So I'm not saying they're going to do it again this year, but you look at the AFC East here, and I wanted Vrabel for the Jets. Like, he was number one, and Glenn was number 3 for me. So I obviously respect the direction that I anticipate the Pats going, but they're obviously beatable, and the Dolphins are a rough start away from anarchy. I mean, Mike McDaniel with his wacky quotes and his, his a very odd approach.
They're going the wrong way.
They are going the wrong way. So Miami's going the wrong way. The Patriots' talent level is very low right now in certain spots. And the Bills, while they're good, the Jets always seem to clip them once a year.
Yeah, I'd worry about the Pats. I think they're going to be much better this year. The Bills are what they are. Forget about that because you're right. That's why it shouldn't be about the win totals here. We'll get to the Giants in a second. But think about this. With Ulbrich and Sal, they won 5 games last year. Obviously disastrous season, but still 5 wins. And I'm talking about, if they win 6 games, you'd be okay with that. Sal, the prior 2 seasons, won 7 games. Adam Gase, we look at him as like the biggest buffoon ever. He won 7 games his first year.
Yeah.
So it's not as if the Jets have been, 3-14.
I know.
Like, they've actually won some games here. It's just been disappointing relative to the expectation. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. Not that I like Robert Saleh because, I'm not a huge fan of his. His 7-10 year, losing Aaron Rodgers on the first freaking play of the game, that's actually remarkable what he did that year.
Yeah, but that's also speaks to the talent base that Aaron Glenn's inheriting, which is part of the reason why I'm very optimistic about the Jets.
Okay, and then with the Giants, see, for me, this is more based on wins because it's year 4 with Brian Dable. They finally have some talent on defense. Like, no more excuses about, it's Gettleman guys. This is Joe Shane's roster. By year 4, you should be able to evaluate a general manager.
Yep.
Same thing with a head coach. So we know where we're going to evaluate these guys, and look at where they've gone. They went from 9 wins the first year, which was an aberration, and they exceeded expectations, overplayed what they had right there, great, and then the expectations raised, obviously, following that. But then it's progressively gotten worse. 6 wins and then 3 wins a year ago. Dude, they've got to win some games here. They've got a veteran quarterback. They've got the pieces in place defensively. I don't want to hear about the schedule. The Giants should win. To me, a successful year for them would constitute 9 wins. You hope that it results in a playoff spot. Now, I don't think they're going to get there, but that's how I would evaluate a successful season. That's the win total part of it. The other part, and this is kind of the escape floor for them.
The emergency route here for these guys. Yeah.
The wins aren't there. The wins aren't there with Russell Wilson early on. They see it, and then they escape the emergency hatch there, and they bring in Jackson Dart, and then it's not about the win total, it's about building him, and then next year.
Yeah, and by the way, the energy with the Giants, I mean, it was really one of the things that needed to change most on the entire New York sports landscape, because everybody was just tired of watching Daniel Jones. And like when you have a quarterback that you don't believe in, that you know is, and we were like, you and I both respect Daniel Jones, and a lot of times he got hurt because he wasn't afraid to put his pants down and get rocked. I mean, and he won the Colts job. So, Daniel Jones but it was so obvious he couldn't throw the ball downfield, or he wouldn't throw the ball downfield too often. And he was getting sacked, and early on with the fumbles. We were all done with him. So that is gone. And Russell Wilson is better. He is more dynamic. And I'll tell you what, I actually wish the Jets had the Giants receiving core. I mean, Malik Neighbors is amazing, and they've got a lot more depth than the Jets here. So I say that because I do think that they'll be, even against good teams with the schedule being very tough early, there will be some games this year early where the Giants will score first, and they will be up 7-0, and they will be up 14-10, and they will be up 20-17. And when they have those leads, which they too often did not, with Jones and DeVito and all the other riffraff they threw out, no disrespect to Tommy, all the riffraff they threw out there, well, now you got a chance to pin the ears back and crush quarterbacks, and that's where the defense is going to light it up.
And I think that we're going to learn about the Giants.
I hope. That's the optimistic slant.
We're going to learn about what the Giants are going to be right out of the gate. Because if they don't win at the very least one of these first two, but really you got to win the first two to me. You get the Chiefs, the Chargers looming after that, the Eagles. They got a rough schedule here. I'm looking at if they are going to be a playoff team, a 9-win team with Russell Wilson leading the way, they're going to have to win these first two games. If at the very least, like I said, one. If they don't, then to me, the hope of the playoffs is gone. They're not going to admit that, obviously, after 2 weeks. But then it's going to be about Jackson Dart.
I was going to say, you beat me to it. The Giants are admitting the playoffs are no longer the target or really attainable when Russell Wilson sits and Jackson Dart plays.
Right.
And listen, oh, God, it's been so messy there for so long here, starting with ownership, who the Giants have been a mess. I mean, the Giants went along with the Yankees for all these years, being that symbol of stability in New York sports, and then they just morphed into a circus too often. And I do think that that's over. I do. But it's a fine line, because it is year 4 and you said this before, and that's very important. Now, I'm going to suspend that because, he inherited Daniel Jones, and then Jones played well, and then they were stuck between a rock and a rock. You got to extend them. You knew if you sat down and had 3 scotches with Dable, he would tell you, listen, I respect him. He ain't it. And now you have to see if Dart's it. But you've got to give an offensive-minded coach a chance to cook with somebody he believes in, and he loves Dart.
But that's why this is the biggest evaluation year we're going to have, because...
Yeah, but what if he doesn't play a lot, Jackson Dart?
But there are no more excuses here. They brought in their guys. Defensively, they're loaded up. Offensively, they brought in their 3 quarterbacks, with Jameis obviously being the backup. As you look at it going into the season here, with Jackson Dart being the potential hope, and you have Russell Wilson being their guy. No excuses. It's not, Jones was forced on us, or Gettleman's guy. Well, this is it. We're going to find out once and for all what Joe Schoen and Brian Dable are made of here at one point or another, early on, as far as the success with the veteran players, or showing the potential and development of Jackson Dart midway through the season whenever they do wave the white flag on the playoffs.
See, this goes into my factoring as well. I mean, whether it's penalties with the Jets or that game against the Browns a year ago, when now that's Dable's fault, when they messed up the kicking situation.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're bad and...
They won 3 games, dude.
I know.
They got to start winning some games.
No doubt. And the way the Giants season started too often lately, losing 40-zip to the Cowboys, it's got to be far more competitive to start. I think it will be. I'm excited. 888. I'm sorry.
We get so many reads here, BT. Let me get this in WFAN NFL football, powered by Verizon. Get your local Verizon store today.
My fault, dude. 888-808-1019. BT and Sal on the Fan. Football is back. We'll get these calls. We promise you. Level of optimism, not just because football's back, but level of belief in these two teams to give us a little something different this year. What is it? Where is it at? All right, Sal, 4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for the performance, others for the range. Well, some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into a big occasion. Whatever the reason is, there's never been a better time to say, hey, let's take the Cadillac.
Yeah, the all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. It's great. You got the Escalade IQ, the Vistic, Optic, and the Lyric. That's the one that I drove last year. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today. The BT and Sal Show is presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
As a manager, getting to know his potential closer, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get the first crack at it. He let this guy go out and finish the job, and I'm telling you, that type of stuff the team can build off of.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. As we approach Thursday night's NFL opener, here are 5 young players I see as potential breakout stars this coming season, starting with Patriots quarterback Drake May. I do believe that Bears' new head coach, offensive whiz Ben Johnson, will develop quarterback Caleb Williams and wideout Rome Odunze. Jets running back Braylon Allen and Ravens quarterback Nate Wiggins also should blossom this season. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful Fed incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Get away to the Atlantic City in Waterboat Show. 4 days only, September 4th to the 7th at the Golden Nugget Marina. Enjoy live entertainment and outdoor dining. Shop the Marine Mart. Buy $15 advance tickets at acinwaterboatshow.com.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Mercedes-Benz of Union, and Ray Katina of Freehold. 3 powerhouse locations in New Jersey. 1 legendary name, Ray Katina. More inventory, featuring one of the East Coast's largest selections of new and pre-owned Mercedes-Benz vehicles. More convenience with 3 state-of-the-art service centers to keep your Mercedes-Benz running like new. And of course, legendary Ray Katina customer service, where you always come first. Experience the power of 3 at benzfam.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's football season, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at repairclinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Town Fair Tire, Connecticut's largest discount tire dealer. Because we give you the guaranteed lowest price and we honor every manufacturer's rebate. We even honor all our competitors' rebates. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the big question. They have the cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers to help you select a ring from their beautiful 2 by London collection, or even design the absolute perfect ring to fit within everyone's budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, why not let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you out? You could visit London Jewelers at any one of their 6 locations, including the Americana Manhasset and the Ball at Short Hills.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
Fell short this time. Your smile fades in the summer.
BT Sal back on the Fan. 888-808-1019. We'll get to the Mets and their rotation mess and the heater that Juan Soto is on, really the remarkable season that he is having, working his way into the MVP conversation now. We'll do that in about 15 minutes. Yankees as well, starting a big series in Houston, taking on the Astros. We start, though, with the football. Days away, just 2 days away from the NFL season officially kicking off on Thursday night. And then, of course, Sunday, the Jets host the Steelers, and the Giants will play on the road in Washington. Adam is calling from South Jersey. What's up, Adam?
What's going on, boys? My Brooklyn brother, BT Sal. Hope you guys are well today.
Yes.
Feeling good. Season's here, man. I'm happy, bro. Listen, before I get to the football thing, I'm going to tell you a little Hoffy story. You want to hear something about your boy Hoff over there? I call to talk to you guys, and he picks up the phone. He goes, you want to speak to, I'm like, Hoff, it's good if you know their names, Hoff. That would help if you know who they are, you know?
It's been a while since we've all worked together, so I could give Hoff a break on that one. Yeah.
Wait. But then the call got dropped, and I called back again. He goes, he knew it was me. He goes, you want to speak to Evan and Tiki?
Hey, better than Joe and Evan.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
At least Evan and Tiki's going on now.
Yeah, at least the way, I got no comment. But yeah, so anyway, football's here, guys.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We got the Jets. I think that, I've really been looking deep into them, what they got. The coaching is going to make a difference. I think they're going to get better as the season goes. Am I expecting miracles? No. I look at what I call the gray area in football, right? The gray area is where there's 3 or 4 games that you can either win or lose, depending on what you do in the last couple of minutes of the game, which lately, the last couple of years, the Jets lose. And they end up with terrible records, right? So I think they're going to be in a lot of games, and I think their water area is like anywhere between 7 wins and a high end of perfection between 9 and 10 if they get those close games that they have been losing so much the last couple of years. And I think that'll be more evident as the season goes. They might get penalties early because they're still kind of like a patient in recovery, They got to learn the Aaron Glenn way. I trust BT, when I called you with Tiki many, many moons ago, I didn't like the Sal hire. I thought he was a phony right off the bat. I'm telling you, Aaron Glenn is real. He's the real deal. He's going to be a disciplinarian. I think it's going to go well for them, but it's going to be progressive. Jet fans, show some patience.
Yeah.
If they're 0-2, 1-3, don't be going nuts. This team will get better. You guys have a great day, and thanks for giving me the time.
Adam. It's a good call. It really is. They're funny, too, because the one thing I know about the Jets, even though I'm very optimistic, I'm also very aware, like, if they fall behind, whether it's this week or another game, 27-6, 30-10, it's a wrap. Like, if the Jets fall behind early, Justin Fields is not slinging their way back into the game. So, and sometimes it could just be one of those, and every team has one or two of these quirky, wacky games where opening kick, fumbled, short field, the opponent scores a quick touchdown, pick six, fumble, whatever, like a punt return. You look up, you're down multiple touchdowns. Jets don't have the horses to deal with that. So, and really, I think the Giants have more because of their defense, pass rush, and they have more offensive weapons. But I'll tell you, it makes a good point in the sense that, and I'm going to include both teams here because I was doing this during the break. You know, like last year, and it was in the driving rain. And it was frustrating. But like the Jets lost the Broncos that game against Denver at home, 10-9.
That was brutal.
Oh, awful. They lost 23-20 to the Bills. They lost 25-22. They lost 28-27 to the Colts. And the Jets were, Ulbrich was actually worse than Saleh, which is hard. And then from a Giants perspective too, Sal, you know, again, a very bad season.
But what the Jets, sorry, BT, let me just interrupt there for a second, because we said the same thing last year when it was, well, they were 7-10 and they lost all these games by 3 points or 5 points, and they had Zach Wilson, and now they have Rodgers.
That's true. I can't push back on that. No, that's fair to insert that. That's absolutely true. Now, Rodgers just didn't play well the first, 7 or 8 games. He played much better after that, as we all know. So, yeah, we thought he would cover that up or close the gap. It didn't work. And then, by the way, a little bit at the end, he did, and they won a couple of, not a ton, but they won a few more. Even the Giants, like week 2 last year, they lost 21-18 to the Commanders. They lost by 5 to Dallas in week 4. They lost by 5 to the Commanders again week 9. They lost in overtime to Carolina. That was awful. And they lost 14-11 to Seattle. Pass rush, Wilson, they should be better.
Yeah, I mean, they should be better. The problem is both these teams have been basically eliminated by what? Would you say week 5? The last couple of years? I mean, the Jets maybe were holding out hope last year on Halloween, that Thursday night they played the Texans, right? I'm just trying to say, we're holding out. The
Halloween's been the line of demarcation for both. It's over.
So if you look at it, like, unfortunately here, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I think the Jets are going to get beat week 1. I think they're going to get beat week 2. I think the Steelers and the Bills are going to beat them. Bucks could be tough. All right, but
I mean, Baker stuff, it's down there. That's not a gimme win either. But could the Jets be 0-3? Yeah. Do I think they will be? No, but they could be.
Okay, so, and then I think they'll beat Miami, even though it's a road game in Miami. What do you think there?
Flip a coin.
All right,
I think they're going to be Pittsburgh, though, so I do disagree with that.
Okay, so then I guess my point is, get me to where games matter beyond the Jets are off the week of Halloween there. That's their bye week.
Yep.
To November. Is there any chance, forget about the building blocks and all those things that we see, because that we could see early on. Any chance the Jets still in the hunt?
Yes. I expect them to be.
Now, here's the problem with that. Like I said, if I think they're going to be 0-2 at best, 2-2 after 4, which is fine. You take that.
Yep.
Dallas, Denver, you split that 3-3. That's how you would get there. Carolina, they could beat. They're not beating the Bengals. And then I guess after that, if I have them starting...
The Bengals defense stinks.
They're not beating the Bengals.
Bengals defense stinks. It's awful.
I know, but the Jets can't score points on their level. You're going to have to shut them down. I don't think the Jets defense is that good.
But Sal, if you possess the ball for 37 minutes, you don't have to score 30 points. That's kind of the appeal with the Jets, if they can run it the way I think they can. And if they can't, well, then they're not going to be good.
If the Jets don't have at least one win in the first 3 games... I think that's a wrap. They don't even get us to October. They got to win at least one of those. You want to say it's going to be against Pittsburgh? I could say maybe it's against the Bucs, because even 1-3, I don't think we get to Halloween. If they go 1-3, is that fair to say they don't make it to Halloween?
No, I still wouldn't write them off.
Even at 1-3?
No.
With the Broncos and Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, listen. First of all, again, the Bengals defense stinks. Burrow's amazing, but they're not a balanced team. I mean, there's teams out there that. I mean, listen, there's just teams that have issues. I know we fixate on ours. Number one, they've had a lot, and they've had them for a long time. So that's like the easiest thing to do. Nobody's sitting here saying the Jets without flaw. But if they can this sounds like such a cliche thing, but it's applicable this year for once. If they can control the line of scrimmage, dude, we're going to be sitting there, instead of flipping off the game and going to the red zone, I believe that Jet fans will, and Giant fans more than Giants than some people think, but the Jets fan will be sitting on the couch this year in the fourth quarter, one-score game with a chance to win a lot more than they have in a long time, and I'll take that.
Yeah, I hope so. I just don't see them actually winning the majority of those games, so I would say probably out by Halloween. As for the Giants, we're going to know early on here. Dude, I mean, we've all gone over this. Giant schedule's brutal.
The schedule's tough.
So let's just say they split the first 2 games.
Okay.
2 road games, division game. Let's say they split. Now, I think they got to win both, but let's say they split. Chiefs, Chargers. You think they're splitting those 2?
I don't, but it's not like the Chiefs come out and drop 35 on people like they used to. They're a very different team.
All right, so let's say they split those. That's 4 at New Orleans. That could be a win.
Yeah, you have to win that game.
So let's say okay.
If you want to have a meaningful season, you got to beat the Saints.
Now you're October 9th. You're 3-2. You get the Eagles at Denver, at Eagles.
Yeah.
And then the Niners.
It's daunting. No, it's daunting. It's far more daunting than the Jets schedule. When how do you not play the schedule game? But when you do it, it's depressing. It's almost like, why have the season? Well, I get it, but there's been other circumstances in previous years where we looked at the schedule. Hell, the Jets were supposed to mop Denver last year, and they lost in week 4. Remember, that's a win. Oh, that's a win. That's a win.
I get it.
So it also works the other way, too, where we're assuming it's a loss and it becomes a win.
All I'm saying is that I think it's imperative that the Giants get out to a good start with their schedule to have a relevant season by mid-October or Halloween.
Okay, but here's what saves them this year. Even if they don't get off to a good start with the wins, the oxygen comes in the form of when does Dart play. And then that obviously changes the perception and the feel for the season.
A totally different form of relevancy. Lawrence is in Oklahoma City. What's up, Lawrence?
I'm just so excited for Sunday, guys. For both teams, I think they're going to play so much better, and it's not going to be football that's embarrassing to watch because it's just been so bad as of late. And I wonder if the Jets players are going to be able to get behind Aaron Glenn being a former player of the Jets and have that fire them up against Pittsburgh. Maybe they want to go out there and just get after Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Fields wants some revenge for the disrespect he might have felt. So I'm just excited, and let's go New York football for not sucking this year.
You're a big Giants guy. I'm surprised that you focused on the Jets. We appreciate the call there. Lawrence always checks in on the free Odyssey app. Thank you, man.
I mean, I think that there is a difference between enthusiasm, excitement for the season, and expectation, realistic expectation. I get why the fan bases would have great hope and belief and excitement. You've got to have realistic expectations. And then the goal would always be to be exceeding those realistic expectations. If you have unrealistic expectations, Jets going to be a playoff team, at least in my mind, that's unrealistic. Giants going to be a playoff team, and here we go, maybe do damage. You're setting yourself up for failure. If you have the realistic expectations in accordance with what the majority of people think, meaning the win totals, and now that's not, exact science, obviously, but if you have a relative feel around that, say 7 wins.
Consensus. Most people what they're thinking.
Well, they're both 5.5 wins. So 7-win season would exceed both win totals. That's a good thing, but that still would not be good enough. I'm getting the feel for both the Jets and Giants fan base.
No, I don't think 7 wins is going to have Jet fans jumping for joy. I think 7 would be, again, depending upon how they get there, because the schedule's tougher, blah, blah, blah. Giant fans might be a little bit more enthusiastic about that, but forget about the sheer volume of wins. To me, my expectation is that the Jets have a season deep into November and possibly early December where we're sitting here saying, all right, if you get a little lucky, if you win this game, I expect that. And I expect the Giants to win a couple of games where we're not sitting here and they're 1-6 and buried like they usually are by the time we get to late, Halloween, basically.
WFAN NFL football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation with the NFL, Jets and Giants, 888-808-1019. But we'll work the Mets into the conversation. Soto. Oh, baby. He's heating up at the perfect time, but the Mets have some Mets have some major. He might. Wouldn't put it against him.
He's got a pretty good arm out there. Can he pitch? Good God.
Mets have some major issues in that rotation. We'll get to that when we come back.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Hey Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, September 5th when the Yankees host the Toronto Blue Jays and be ready to receive the Yankees promotional giveaway. It's Austin Wells football jersey night. The first 18,000 guests will receive an Austin Wells football jersey presented by Bank of America. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Blue Jays for Austin Wells football jersey night on Friday, September 5th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
This just in, the Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Start dreaming without limits and head to the nearest New Jersey lottery retailer for your chance to win.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Looking for the ultimate family day trip? American Dream has it all, and it's just minutes from Manhattan. Over 25 indoor attractions, plus hundreds of shopping and dining options. There's something for everyone. Book now. Your kids will thank you. AmericanDream.com.
Did you know nearly half of young adults aged 18 to 25, about 16 million people, experience substance use or mental health conditions? If you or a loved one is living with a mental health and substance use condition, treatment and support are available to help your recovery journey. Recovery is not one size fits all, and many dimensions of your life influence your recovery journey. Substance use and mental health conditions are like any other condition that requires treatment and support. Connecting with others in recovery helps build a circle of people around you who are likely navigating the same things you are and will support your unique journey. Finding community support is a powerful, proven way to help. You don't have to go through it alone. Recovery is possible for everyone, regardless of where you are on your journey. SAMHSA's free resources will help you explore effective treatment options and connect you with providers near you. Learn the steps you can take by visiting samhsa.gov/recoverme. That's samhsa.gov/recoverme.
For all station contest rules, go to WFAN.com/rules.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Talk Yankees and Mets all season long. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
And this report brought to you by Cars for Kids. The Fan congratulates Cars for Kids on 30 years of changing lives. Over 1 million cars donated. More than 100,000 kids helped. Be part of the legacy. Donate your car today at carsforkids.org and join over 1 million satisfied donors. Mets and Tigers again tonight from Detroit. The Mets with the 10-8 win on Monday afternoon, thanks in large part to Juan Soto's big game. The grand slam, the triple, the 6 RBIs. The Mets 10 games over 500. Right now 4 games ahead of the Reds for the third wild card in the National League. Soto says ready for the final stretch of the regular season.
This is a moment. I feel like whoever gets hot in September is the team who goes all the way. You can see it with the teams that win it lately. They're really hot in September, so I think this is the right time to get hot.
Mets will try to make it 2 in a row today, and while their veteran pitchers have struggled, meaning the starters, their youngsters have done quite well. Nolan McLean makes the start tonight. First pitch, 6:40, Mets Odyssey Radio. Meantime, the Yankees will be in Houston to take on the Astros. They've got Max Fried on the mound taking on Framber Valdez. First pitch on the Fan at 8:10. Pregame coverage at 7:30. The Yankees start the day trailing Toronto by 2.5 games for first place in the AL East. The Blue Jays losing to the Reds on Monday 5-4 in college
football, a big dud for Bill Belichick in his debut as North Carolina head coach as the Tar Heels got leveled by TCU 48-14. This report brought to you by Total Orthopedics, the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics is Long Island's premier orthopedic practice. From simple sprains and broken bones to complex sports injuries, they are the experts at getting you back to being you. Total Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit TotalOrthoExpress.com today. 70 at Central Park. That's what's happening. I'm Jerry Recco on WFAN, and now streaming our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your
of the New York Mets. We'll get to the Mets in just a second, but I did see a little note here from the Yankees BT, newsworthy. As you know, Aaron Boone joins Talking Yanks podcast every Tuesday. Giancarlo Stanton going to be in left field tonight in Houston.
That makes sense. He was there in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Smaller fence. It's basically like, him in right field for Yankees. They're only smaller. So that makes sense.
So Stanton has not played left field since September of 2023 in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Another short
That's
fence.
a long time ago. And Boone also added that Aaron Judge is getting close to playing the field, but they don't have a date set yet. Okay.
You don't want to mess that one up again there, Booty, with Aaron Judge with the timeline.
I mean, how about Judge? We getting out there or not? You ripped the manager because he said that you weren't going to be 100%. Season's almost over, bro. You got 20-something games to go.
Well, he's just starting to hit. I mean, that's all I care about. Listen, we could say whatever we want. Obviously, if Aaron Judge could throw the baseball properly, he would be in right field. Anybody that doubts his commitment to getting back to right field is flat out nuts.
My issue is not doubting his commitment. It's that he ripped the manager for saying that he didn't say he wasn't going to come back. Mm-hmm. He just said that he doesn't think he's going to be 100% at all this year.
Yeah.
That was weeks ago. He hasn't even set foot in the outfield. So So you ripped the manager for saying something accurate? It's not his fault you're hurt.
Well, the thing that bothered me about that was, when I didn't think it was a great look for Aaron when he said, I haven't seen him throw yet.
Right.
That was the thing that jumped out to me. And then obviously Judge's response. You and I talked about this a little bit. I felt like he threw Aaron under the bus. I mean, Aaron's been really going out of his way. That's his style. That's his managerial style, to protect the guys in the clubhouse and the locker room and keep it sacred and not railroad him in the press. And then I thought Aaron's words got away from him. I think they also seem a little more harsh and black and white than the actual tone when you listen to it. But it wasn't a great look for Aaron Judge. I don't dispute that.
Yeah, well, and the point is, he still, weeks later, still hasn't been in the outfield. And the problem is that now you're going to have a situation where you get Giancarlo Stanton in left field, where he's done a nice job, but he's not an outfielder at this point in his career. He can't do it consecutively. You hold your breath and say, well, the guy's doing something he hasn't done in 2 years, playing the outfield since 2023.
Talking about playing left field, yeah.
Yeah, playing the left field.
I listen, you get him out there, you pick your spots. It's obviously not ideal, and this is going to be a series. I don't want to get to the Mets too here, obviously, but this is going to be a series where we're going to start to learn a little bit more about these Yankees. You would have loved to have swept the White Sox. Instead, you get 3 out of 4. You obviously beat a bad team before that, but this is really judgment time for the Yankees. And if Stanton could give you anything on a short field, whether it's Fenway in the left, whether it's in Houston in the left, whether it's in right in the Bronx, it can preserve his body, and it gives him a chance to play both Judge and Stanton, which is what we're looking for.
That's what you have to have. You have to have both their bats in the lineup. So obviously we understand that, and that's why he's going to be in left field tonight. All right, as it pertains to the Mets, a big win yesterday. The conversation we've had all year long has been about Juan Soto and how it's been a quote-unquote down year for Soto. And to me, the only real, you can talk about the batting average, fine, but the only real tangible thing that would say that it was a down year for him was the fact that he was not hitting with runners in scoring position, which is something that everybody expected that he was eventually going to do. Well, he's now starting to do that to the tune of a ridiculous level that now, when you look at his numbers, and it's not just because he's been hot with runners in scoring position for the last, 10 games, whatever it's been exactly, his numbers overall, he's having not only, I was going to say historic season in baseball overall, which could end up being that, but certainly one of the great seasons we've ever seen from a New York Met, period, end of story.
I don't disagree, but I'm not surprised. I mean, the frustration, I can't speak for anybody but myself, the frustration for me with Juan Soto was the sluggish start. And when you sign that kind of a contract, that's just the way it goes. Like Beltran got booed year one, 16 home runs, big deal, not good enough. Wake up. It's happening to Yankees as well, and it's going to always happen. That's just the way it goes. So, April, I know it's an antiquated stat, but when I see 230 next to Juan Soto's name in April, that's unacceptable because he's too good for that. When I see in the month of May hit 219, I'm like, that's not Juan Soto. I never once thought Juan Soto wouldn't wake up. But to me, that's burying the lead because Juan Soto is an amazing hitter and Juan Soto's on a tear. And now I watch Juan Soto dig into the box and I expect Juan Soto to absolutely do damage. That's not the problem with the Mets. The problem with the Mets is outside of McClain, their pitching staff stinks. So
well, it's not the problem, but it is a big deal because it's been the major talking point all year with Soto. Like, we'll get to the pitching in a second. We do have to acknowledge, dude.
He's been phenomenal. I know. He's been great.
But he's going to have. But
he's been great.
No, not just great. Like, he's going to have 40. He's got 36 homers.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have 40 homers, and he's going to get 100 ribbies, which is unbelievable to think about where he was at with runners in scoring position. You're talking about 40 and 100. It may be different for the Yankees. That's not often. For the Mets.
Get it.
Not to mention he's got 26 stolen bases, leads the league in walks, 100 runs scored. Like. This is a freaking phenomenal year, even with the slow start in April. I remember getting on for the first 20 games, and it was reacting to his poor performance in those 20 games, never doubting that he was going to get it turned on, but turned on to this level. This is a ridiculous season for Juan Soto, numbers-wise, filling the box with all kinds of stats.
Listen, I think next year, and if there's no work stoppage after that, I think Juan Soto has a year or 2 or 3 or 4 where he hits 290-something, 302, 303. Like, I expect that out of Juan Soto. But there's a fine line for me, whilst there's no doubt his season in totality has been, it's up there. I saw some, like maybe the first ever to do whatever, this and the 40 home runs, 30 steals, 100 runs, 100 RBIs. And there was one other component, whatever it was, maybe it wasn't 200 hits, whatever it was. He's obviously starting to flirt with some stuff that's amazing. But it's not like those of us, and you were one of them, and I was certainly one of them, that were criticizing his start were wrong.
Right.
He has just turned it up to a level that has now changed the tone of the conversation, which I fully expected to happen. He's Juan Soto. There was a reason why the Yankees wanted to give him $750 and the Mets gave him $755. This is not a mid-level player who was having a big-time season. He's Juan Soto.
Right,
He's supposed to.
But there was a lot of criticism towards Soto and his slow season or his down
season. And rightfully so.
But that's where I'm going to disagree. I got on him for the first 20 games of the season.
Yep.
There were people who were doubting that he was going to do this, number one, wrong. And number two, just saying overall his numbers are going to be down. His numbers are not. Batting average, yes. Everything else, equal or up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But understood, if Juan Soto is on pace for 120 yards, there are guys in baseball that have 100 RBIs already.
Right.
One of them is his teammate,
right,
Pete Alonso. So he's going to get to 100 RBIs, and based on what he did yesterday, maybe 103, 104, 105. He's on a ridiculous tear.
His career high is 110.
Yeah, okay. So if he gets to 100...
His career high homers is 41.
I understand. No, I understand. The home runs, he's been on an absolute vicious tear with the home runs, but that doesn't change anything that I've thought or others have thought, because I never once said that he's not going to wake up. Now, those of people who said Juan Soto's destined to have a Beltran-type year one with the Mets, well, then they need to get on the apology tour. What I was saying, two very different things. Dude, you're getting $50 million a year. Act like it, which he now is, which is good to see for the Mets.
Well, yeah.
And the second component was, did I ever believe that he would wake up and put numbers that were in the neighborhood of what he usually does? And just for me, my answer was, yeah. Now, it was frustrating watching him crawl and fail in clutch situations, but to close the door on Juan Soto... You're an idiot. Well, I don't know what to tell people. You didn't think he was going to wake up and hit?
Well, there's a lot of people calling him Juan Solo. That's a ridiculous notion as well. No, he's had a terrific first year with the Mets. Could it be better? I guess. But at the end of it, he's going to do something that maybe no other Met ever has done, depending on where he finishes with the stolen bases and home runs and RBI. But he's on pace for his historic season from a Mets perspective in year one, even with his slow start, or a quote-unquote down year. And the best is yet to come for me, and that's the only thing that matters, because what happens prior to today really doesn't mean anything. And what happens before October really doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
If he struggles in October, that's going to be the focal point. If he goes nuts in October, that's going to be the focal point. But he is now showing, like, the last thing that we needed to see from my perspective was hitting with guys on base. He's done that at an absurd level over the last couple of weeks.
He has, and it's changed the tenor of how his season is perceived. But again, there was a point where he literally had the worst average with runners in scoring position. So I'm just making sure we get some separation. What was said about Juan Soto was never inaccurate. I think what either frustrated some or confused others was whether or not Juan Soto would go back to being Juan Soto. For me, I always thought that he would. For the others, I don't think they really know baseball. They didn't really watch Juan play for the Nationals or for the Yankees last year. This is not surprising.
Right.
This is what he's supposed to do.
Oh, no,
one of the best in baseball.
But we did, well, yes, agree. But you and I have had some arguments where maybe it didn't feel like that from your perspective.
No, but hold on. I agree. But they weren't arguments. I think they were debates, number one. And they were debates about what he was doing at that moment, which was at that point the worst average with runners in scoring position. I didn't just pull that out of thin air.
Right, but
if Aaron Judge had the worst average, worst RI, worst RISP, I'd be like, dude, wake up. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
Wake up.
But when it was the one thing missing and we both said it was going to change, then look at the season overall. Like,
yes, and that's why I'm saying it's been phenomenal now.
Juan Soto has received more criticism this year than any Met that I could recall that it's had, maybe ever, that it's had this type of year.
I probably agree with that.
Like, this is absurd.
I agree with that.
This is not Beltran year one who had 15 or 16 home runs, whatever it was.
Yep.
Like, this guy's he's going to end up with 40 and 100 and lead the league in walks and have 100 runs scored. Like,
yeah, but Sal, think about this. You shouldn't be. Maybe it was unfair to an extent. Although some of the early, again, I don't want to keep the early numbers with Juan. They were what they were, and people out
he's
there.
He's not worth the contract.
No, yeah, well, that's where you just knew. Now, if he came from the Padres or the Dodgers for that money, it would have been crazy hype and crazy, and maybe at times unfair analysis or overreactions. The fact that he came from the Yankees for that amount of money, there was no escaping this. So it was up to him to prove that he's Juan Soto, which I always knew that he would. The onus wasn't on me to provide reasons why he's hitting 220 in May.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't on me to do that.
Here's, I guess, the biggest argument that you and I have had. Now, I'm not saying that Juan Soto is some complete overall player. However, if, and this is still an if because there's 4 games to go and he's got to finish these numbers. Somebody was sending me this tweet before. If Juan Soto gets to 40 homers, he's got 36 right now. If he gets to 30 stolen bases, he's got 26 right now.
This is what I was trying to reference before. This is a good one. Go ahead.
And
40 bombs, 30 steals. Yep.
All right, 40, 30 steals, and 100 ribbies. He's got 90. It would be one of the most complete seasons since 2000. 40 homers, 30 steals, 100 ribbies, 100 runs scored, 100 walks. Has not been done since Bonds and Bagwell. Bonds did it in 96 and 97, and Bagwell did it in 97 and 99.
On juice, by the way. We think allegedly, right? Who knows what was going on back then? Allegedly, let's slide that in there, man. No,
that was the assumption.
Think about, though, now let's just juxtapose Juan Soto's season. Let's say that Juan Soto came out in April playing like this.
Right.
Then everybody would have been fair to him unless they were just trolls.
And it wasn't just April, to your point, because I remember saying, well, now it's going to be the Yankee series, and he was awful in that Yankee series.
Dude, he hit 219 in May.
I get it, but he had an all-time June.
No question. Player of the month.
Yeah, he's been on some kind of tear now that normal players can't go on.
I'm expecting him, when he digs in, I am expecting him to barrel one to the moon these days.
All right, now.
That's what I feel about Soto.
Now for the big issue. Now that we've got
the real issue.
Yeah, right. He's not
from a team perspective. Soto's an asset.
All right, so we know it's the rotation. I'd be curious to get your take on this. I've been giving this a lot of thought over the last 2 weeks, spending a lot of time off, whether it's walking the dog, sitting in the pool, watching the game, thinking about it.
Well, your dog is a lot of energy.
Maddox
is not, Sal doesn't, because we're at the barbecue, half of the family's there, a couple of, like, you can't just say, oh, Maddox, he's up your ass.
No,
you got to take Maddox.
You throw the wiffle ball, you hit it, he's going to get it.
He wants attention, that pooch, huh?
So trying to walk him and play ball. Anyway, so I'm thinking about about the rotation. What would you do to fix it? For me, like I think the Mets are going to make the playoffs. They're 4 up on the Reds. Okay, so
do I. They're up 4. Yeah.
And by the way, that's a whole nother conversation. Like, is it good enough to just back into the playoffs? Don't really care if you do the proper damage in the postseason.
Correct.
Just get there.
That's a end of the year conversation.
Correct. Okay, you want to win the division? Likely not going to happen.
Yep.
Just get to the playoffs. And I do think they're going to benefit from getting there where things get crunched, okay? Shorter postseason, shorter series. You don't have to have 5 or 6 starters.
Agreed.
So assuming they get there, the issue that I have is I cannot start. No, let me rephrase that. I cannot pitch Kodai Senga. He's out of the picture for me. He's not going to be good out of the bullpen. I'm not messing with that, and I'm not having him start a game. So as of right now, September 2nd, whatever it is, I'm not having him in the rotation. McClain would be 1. This is game 1. Yep. Peterson, you could, if you want to have Peterson game 1, that's fine too. I'd go McClain 1, Peterson 2. I would go Clay Holmes 3. I would move Minaya to the bullpen and try to use Minaya as a weapon out of the pen. That gives you Minaya, Diaz, Raley, Soto, Rogers, at least 5 right there. Helsley's got some time to get himself right. As of now, I don't know how you could trust him.
Oh, dude, even the Bulls yesterday on the screws, right down the line, bullet. Even the out, bullet. I mean, good God.
He's worth trying to squeeze whatever is. He could be the last guy on the postseason roster. But he's still got, like, he's throwing 101.
And 102 he hit yesterday, by the way. 102. And he's probably tipping.
Okay,
that's what they were talking about yesterday again.
But still.
No, he's getting lit up, dude.
If you knew 102 was coming, it shouldn't be that easy to turn it around. And these guys are. So, point is, I feel pretty good with that. So my solution would be Senga out, IL, see you later, whatever, Minaya to the pen. Now, you also could call up Sproat. You have Tong in this situation. Tyler McGill coming back. Those could be useful arms when you're trying to put together a staff for the postseason. But as far as the starting rotation goes, I would immediately take Senga out and replace him with Sproat, and I'd take Minaya out, move him to the pen, and replace him with Tyler McGill when he comes back.
I have no issue moving Minaya to the pen. My fear is that he's actually just not healthy. So even if you move him to the pen, what kind of results do you get? I mean, first pitch yesterday, moonshot, bullet, home run. He's been awful. Peterson, who I've always really trusted, has been awful. Obviously, Senga's a mess. Listen, I'm with you on your instincts on Senga. Like, if I'm the Mets, enough of the training wheels, enough of trying to placate this guy. Dude, you are in major. This is year 3. This is not year 1 transitioning from foreign baseball. You are now here. You should know the deal. You should know how to prep yourself in between starts. And they very well might 6-man rotation. Stop trying to move mountains for a guy who nibbles and just can't get through 5 without throwing 80 pitches. I am not doing anything. So I guess I'm with you with Senga. He is incredibly frustrating to watch. I don't care if he ever pitches again. Push him aside. I'm not trying to save him. I'm not trying to salvage him. I don't trust him. I don't believe in him. And I really always liked Senga more than you. Done with Senga.
And how are you going to get him? Like, at least Helsley, you could make the case, okay, well, you put him in for an inning.
Yeah, like 7-1 game, 6-2,
With Senga, what are you going to do? You can't start him. That's
no,
if they start him again, they need their heads examined. You cannot start him. I don't think he's pitchable. But if you then, okay, let's say we're going to put him in the bullpen. You're going to put Senga in the bullpen?
Not the way he's a creature of habit. Like and that's part of the problem. And listen, I understand when you bring somebody over from Japan, you want to hasten the transition. You want to do what you have to do. Really manipulate that off day so it almost replicates the 6-man rotation that he was used to. Yeah, I get it, but the greater good, and they know this. This is why I think the Mets will ultimately make the right decision. It's not about holding his hand forever. It's about winning a World Series.
Correct.
And the guy that you're running out right now is batting practice. He stinks.
You can't do it. Worry about him in the offseason or next year. You can't worry about his ego right now. Helsley, the reason why I feel, like I said, I think it's at least worth trying to salvage because you're not going to have many better options. You're talking about at this point Stanek, Reed Garrett. You got to have some guys. You got to find 14 guys come postseason time. We could get into the conversation about Jonah Tong as well and maybe Sproat when we come back. But I think it's salvageable once they get to the postseason. As far as getting there, I mean, his body,
They're going to get there. You're right. The Reds, even though the Reds came back and won that game yesterday, right? The Reds are 4 back, as you said.
Phillies and Reds both came back yesterday.
Yeah, so the Phillies, the Reds came back. I think they gave gave up a home run late. They were down 3-2 in the ninth. They came back and they won it, right? So, I mean, listen, yesterday was a weird game. Mets come out, the bats are clicking right away. Mania had nothing. Then we went through the mechanics of the game to an extent here. But this is no longer sustainable. Like, they've got to make some tough decisions. I believe that they will. I do want to get into this coming up. I do worry, like, there should be nothing thought of. There should be no internal debate. Game 1, playoffs, McLean must get the baseball. I don't know if they'll acquiesce to him as a rookie. If they don't, they're nuts. He's special. He's by far the best pitcher on the team. It's not even close.
Let's get into that when we come back. BT and Sal on the Fan. We'll also take your calls on it and continue with the NFL talk, 888-808-1019. Guys, by now, you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle-resistant, so you can travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag, and it will remain wrinkle-free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
The Giants kick off the 2025 season in D.C. against the Commanders this Sunday at 1 o'clock.
He's in for the touchdown!
The road ahead is the toughest schedule in the NFL, but with a new quarterback under center and a reinforced defensive line, Big Blue is ready to show they're built for the fight.
Sack back at the 24-yard line! Kayvon Thibodeau closes it out, baby!
The home of New York Giants football is The Fan, 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's time for the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event.
The what now?
The Nissan End of Summer Sales Event.
End of summer?
Yes, Nissan End of Summer.
But I have so many more hot dogs to grill. It was just starting to get good.
Sales event. Here to help you keep your summer in gear.
That sounds interesting.
Test drive the best-selling Nissan Rogue with more standard power.
Cool.
The rugged Nissan Frontier with a standard V6.
Nice.
Or the adventure-ready Nissan Pathfinder or Nissan Murano.
I better hurry in.
To the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event and see why J.D. Power ranks Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands.
#1?
Yes, #1. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For J.D. Power 2025 US IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year for well-qualified buyers. Available from new dealer stock. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand finance. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Tune in for the Yankees' first pitch presented by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo? Absolutely not.
Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's creoninfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
You matter, and so does your well-being. Call, text, or chat 988, New Jersey Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free 24/7 support with mental health, suicide, or substance use concerns for you or someone you love. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. We'll get back to the phones here. 888-808-1019. We're talking about the Mets rotation and Soto and all that stuff before the break. You mentioned it, BT. You'd have McLean start game one. I probably would too, but I don't see a big difference if he starts game two. Like, either way, he's going to be in the rotation. I wouldn't push him back beyond the second game if they feel like they want to just go with a veteran for game one and have McLean game. Like, either way, there's going to be pressure, whether it's game one or if they lose game one, then in game two to save the season in a wild card spot. So I don't necessarily, for me, I wouldn't make a big deal if he's named game two starter and not game one.
I wouldn't mess around with that. I mean, I'm sure some of you saw this. The Mets just had a month in the month of August, right, where from an offensive perspective, they had the most runs they've ever scored in a month. They had 53 home runs, which was the most home runs they've ever had in a month. The Mets as a team in August hit 285, which is amazing in the year 2025, and had an OPS of 866 for the entire month, and they were 11-17 because their starters stink. Now, I understand what, like, the Yankees would do this a lot with Pettit back in the day, where Pettit would come back and win game two a couple times against the Twins, blah, blah, blah. Like, you like to have that rock there in the second spot, just in case you drop the first one. But I don't think anybody deserves it. I mean, right? Unless things radically change over this final month and a few starts for everybody, where Peterson wakes up, or Manaea wakes up, and forget about saying I'm with you there, or, God forbid, from a baseball perspective, from McLean, he really regresses, which I don't anticipate as well. I think he is the real deal. His stuff plays great, and his attitude is awesome. McLean is amazing.
Yeah, okay.
There's no way I'm not running out there game one, say, go get me a win.
Fair enough. I just wouldn't have, like, game one, game two, you got to win two games anyway. You might as well have.
But if I start him game one, there's a chance maybe I could bring him back later in the series. If I start him game two,
well,
I can't.
not in a 3-game series.
Well, that's true. Well, that's true.
Also, maybe it could depend on, and I'm sure they map this stuff out, like, hey, if we win this series in 2 games, now we could get him to pitch whatever game. You're right, maybe ideally, and by the way, it also could depend on how they finish. Do they need McLean in the final
to wrap up the wild card, you mean?
You just don't know based on the dates.
I think they'll be all right.
All I'm saying is, I guess it doesn't matter as long as he's pitching one of the first 2 games. Then to me, it really doesn't matter. But yes, looking forward, here's the way that you would do it. How would you rank your confidence level in all of the Mets starters?
You want me to name them by name or give you a group summary? McLean's an A. McLean's an A.
Who do you have the most confidence in? Rank them in the
McLean 1.
Right. Okay. Me
Honestly,
too.
probably Holmes number 2, just to give you a couple of decent innings and not have that awful inning. Peterson's been very bad, but I'll say Peterson.
Yeah, and that's why I had those guys 1, 2, and 3. I would go Peterson. I think he just had a couple of bad starts. It happens, even in the best of them.
But he's also pitched more innings than he ever has.
Yeah.
You got to monitor some stuff with him. So was Holmes too.
But yes, those to me, those 3 would be definitive. If you want to include Senga, Minaya, Tong, McGill, and Sproat, those would be the only How are you ranking any of those ahead of McLean, Peterson, Holmes? You can't. It's impossible.
What if Tong goes bonkers these final couple of weeks? That could change. Yeah. That's fluid, obviously.
But you're still going to need 4.
Yep.
So, Tong to me right now is penciled in as a number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have Sproat, who's an unknown, but I have no confidence in Minaya and Senga starting at this point. No part of Senga, and I move Minaya to the pen. Only because you touched on this before, out of the pen, how's he going to be any good? Minaya, at least, since he's come back, has shown dominance, but for a few innings.
Yes, not yesterday's much, though.
No, okay, but that's
just been his MO.
Okay, 3 innings of dominance, even 4 innings, maybe a little bit. So I'm moving him to the pen, saying he can be a weapon out of the pen. Let me lock this down. I need 3 innings of dominance from him or 2 innings. Let's go to Minaya here. That's what I would do and try to make the most of a potentially useful piece.
It makes sense, but now think about how we'd feel about the Mets. And I actually, believe it or not, even with all the pitching, issues, I still feel pretty good about the Mets here because their offense is rolling, and I do think there's enough arms down to the pen to navigate close games in the postseason. I do believe they'll get there, and McLean is just filthy. But just imagine if the Mets pitching staff was imagine if you had Peterson or Minaya from last year. Those numbers in August that I just gave you have a team OPS of 870, and you hit 53 home runs, and you hit 285. And you score the most runs you've ever scored in any month in the history of the Mets, and you go 11-17. Now, it's not just all the starters. The bullpen had some issues, too, in certain spots. But, God, the starters. And, you can't punctuate this conversation without at least bringing up one name that needs to be brought up when we're talking about starters, and that's Stearns.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. It's not just the way that he built the rotation coming into the year. It's also at the trade deadline. Not getting a starter, picking the wrong bullpen guy and Helsley to get. To me, their 3 biggest culprits, and again, it's always in my mind, stems from expectation versus result. The 3 biggest culprits to me by far, Senga, Minaya, Helsley. The expectation versus results. The expectation for Minaya and Senga would be the best 2 starting pitchers in the rotation.
I think you probably nailed all 3.
And right now, they're unpitchable. You can't have them start. Helsley, same thing. The expectation was he's going to be a lights-out reliever to complement Edwin Diaz. Lock it down, 8-9. Right now, Helsley is borderline unpitchable.
He's the worst on the team.
Good God.
Right, he's worse than Senga. Helsley is...
No,
he's I don't know what he is right now.
I think Senga's worse. I still feel like Helsley... I don't know what the hell.
Senga still gets a few outs.
Yeah.
The first pitch he throws, bang, rock down the line, triple. Next pitch, bang. Literally, bang. Line drive to Nimmo. Helsley, listen, like you, I watch every Met game. Every time he pitches, he gets rocked.
It doesn't make any sense because when you have nasty
unless he's tipping.
But even if I told you what's coming, I'm going to throw a fastball here. Good luck trying to hit it.
Yeah.
At 102?
I would have no chance. Major league hitters, even at 102, if they know it's coming, they're going to barrel it. Yeah. They know. Especially if they don't have to worry about a deuce, messing them up or a change up.
He can't throw the slider for a strike, which is another big issue.
And he throws it very hard anyway, so there's not much differentiation between his fastball and his slider. Usually his slider is pretty nasty when it's good. But if you're a major league hitter and you know what's coming, and it's at the most blistering pace, velocity-wise, in the league, they're still licking their chops.
Yeah,
they don't care.
I get it, and they've been tattooing. I don't know if hope is the right word here. I still am trying to salvage any way possible Helsley because I think he could still be a useful piece. I do not think Senga could be a useful piece at all the rest of the way. BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Mario's on Long Beach. What's up, Mario?
What's going on? Good show, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, listen, you know what I would do? This is very interesting, right? Because I was thinking about it. I think the new pitcher, the kid, was McLean, right?
Yeah.
Yep. He's got 3 games already, so we'll pump the brakes a little bit. We don't know he's great yet in 3 games. He looks that way so far. A lot of pressure on him. Senga has pitched great a lot of times. Even still, his ERA is 3.04. Terrible lately. you're right, Sal, about he's unpitchable now and all that. I might start him in a game and have a very quick leash and then go with McClain like the second or third inning. The second he falters for a second out.
Why would you? Hold on,
Mario.
Can I appreciate coming up with options and that's fine. You've got to be a little creative here because the Mets rotation's a mess. But that's not one that I would mess around with. Why would you run the risk? Think about what you're saying. Let's go with Senga, and if he gets rocked, go to McClain. So you would neutralize McClain's effectiveness if you hand him a deficit. Why not just come out, pump up 5 or 6 zeros, and whiff 9 guys and go out and get the hammer and win? I'm not messing around with Senga.
Well, the only reason I would do that, I think it puts less pressure on McClain, and I would not let him give up a lot of runs. The second I do something wrong, even if it's one
does it look like he's does it look like he's overwhelmed by the stage? He's basically saved their season.
Yeah, and you could say that, well, as a young kid, it's only been 3 games. You're right. We don't know. However, what we do know is he's their best pitcher right now.
No question.
It's not even a question. So it might only be, well, it's only 3 games. He's their best. He's their best shot. You've got to figure it out. You hope you catch lightning in a bottle here with him the rest of the way. You hope maybe Tom can give you something similar. Who knows when they call up Sproat, but they're going to have to do it. I was of the belief of having to have guys piggyback with the way that Holmes, Senga, and Minaya were going. I don't know if I do that anymore. Moving Minaya to the pen is essentially a piggyback, let's say, for Clay Holmes. I don't know, but I don't know if you. But why restrict yourself to saying, well, I'm only going to use Minaya if Holmes gets in trouble or on a Holmes game? Like, if you're going to move him to the pen, just move him to the pen and load your bullpen up. They could theoretically have McGill, Sproat, Minaya in that pen along with Rogers and Reed Garrett, Soto, Raleigh Diaz. Like, that's a pretty loaded pen in the event that you get Holmes to go 4 1/3 or whatever it may be.
The Mets have a lot of capable arms down there. They do. A lot of quality relief arms. And now this is going to be interesting to see how they configure the rotation. Hey, listen, you've said this for a while, too, about the economics of the game and devoting so much money and so many resources to starting pitching when starting pitching's been mitigated recently. We saw the Dodgers a year ago. That's true. I agree. I don't know if I agreed with you initially. I do agree with you. But when you have a guy who can come out and look like one of the best pitchers in baseball, even though it's a small sample, I'm not messing around, and I'm giving him the baseball as soon and as frequently as I can, and that's McClain.
100%.
He's unbelievable. I love him.
He's one of their best guys. The only guy that would even potentially be in the conversation would be Peterson, who has been the Mets' most consistent pitcher all year long. But right now, McClain's the best. BT and Sal on the Fan. We have a little bold-faced truth, bold-faced lie coming up on the other side. 888-808-1019.
All right, we will get to that. Looking forward to it. Hey, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 back in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if you win, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. So the app is awesome, simple to navigate. Download it if you don't have it. Build parlays, player props, ride the live lines. That's always an adventure. Whatever your style is with betting, FanDuel has you covered. Now the NFL season's finally here. The only question is, are you ready to go? I am. Visit FanDuel.com/BT to download the FanDuel app today and get started. That's FanDuel.com/BT. We love the app around here. It is safe and secure, and when you win, you get paid right away. FanDuel, the official partner of us here at WFAN, 21 plus, and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
As a manager, getting to know his potential closer, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get the first crack at it. He let this guy go out and finish the job, and I'm telling you, that type of stuff the team can build off of.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Arch Manning's big debut against Ohio State didn't go as planned. He looked shaky, missed open throws, and finished with just 170 yards, a touchdown, and a pick in a 14-7 loss. The hype's always been huge, but on the field, it fell flat. It's only one game against the national champs, but the noise will only get louder if Arch doesn't get on track soon. I'm Maggie Gray.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Partly sunny, high 79.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Hey, it's Jerry Recco. If you're facing hair loss like I am, I would like to share my journey at Great Many, New York City's cutting-edge hair growth studio. Looking to regrow your hair safely and effectively? Forget those risky pills with scary side effects and costly trips to Turkey. At Great Many, they use PRP, regenerative medicine trusted by pro athletes for recovery. It's a natural, non-surgical solution that really works. Check out my journey and visit greatmany.com/fan to learn more and save $200 today. Don't hesitate. Take action now like I have. Go to greatmany.com/fan to book your treatment or get a free consultation.
For over 100 years, Sloman's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind with price protection, automatic deliveries, and 24/7 service. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Sloman's, the Tri-State's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomans.com.
Stop dealing with your neck pain, backaches, and sciatica and go see my main man, Dr. Jay Shah at Samwell Institute for Pain Management, a migraine and nerve pain specialist who gets you back feeling like yourself again with minimally invasive and non-surgical treatments. There are thousands of 5-star reviews who trust Dr. J for pain-relieving solutions. Same day and next day appointments available in offices in Colonia, Livingston, and now Inglewood, New Jersey. Turn to Samwell Pain for effective pain-relieving solutions. Visit samwellpain.com.
Talk New York sports on The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Tune in to the BT and Sal Show weekdays from 10 to 2 on The Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac is the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets.
Are you fans? It's football season, so make sure you catch all of the Scarlet Knights gridiron action this season on WFAN. Scarlet Knights football is presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, the official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together.
Town Fair Tire became New England's #1 discount tire dealer by giving you the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. And with over 100 stores from Connecticut to Maine, we'll beat anybody's price. Other dealers, we beat them. Warehouse clubs, we beat them. Online sites, we beat them all every day. So remember, for the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium iced or hot coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions, participation, and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Now, time for Bold Face Lie, Bold Face Truth with Brenton Tierney and Sal Licata.
Oh, yeah.
All right, a little bold face truth, bold face lie. Hoff, before we get started today on this Tuesday, can you tell me because I'm forgetting his name, the name of the Yankee rookie pitcher who has come up and had success this year?
Cam.
Would you mess it up over the weekend? What
No,
happened?
but
Why is he asking you?
Boomer and Gio were saying I probably can't say the name. So
Because of his big tongue.
Because, yes, and there's a lot of different ways we can go with this in a bad way. So get ready for the dump button, Dove. Cam Schlittler.
Atta boy. Schlitt.
Any chance I get, I'm going to follow Gio's orders there. He said,
I will. Yeah, I was going to call in and start talking about Cam Schlittler, to be honest with you, but I chose not to.
Just hyphenated. Yeah. Honestly, in your mind, hyphenated, you said.
I'm just calling him Cam.
Split it up.
Screw that.
Yeah.
He's just Cam. That's
Cam
it.
S.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn. Bald face lie, bald face truth. Let's start with BT. Since we've been on the Juan Soto kick here. Juan Soto will eclipse his personal home run and RBI total this season.
So he'd have to get to, 40 and 110? I'm going to say bullface truth.
He needs 42 home runs.
So it would be 42.
42 and 111.
So he would need 6 more homers, and he would need, or would you say how many ribbies? 11? Yeah. Oh, no.
21.
21, sorry, yeah. 11 would get him over 100.
The home runs, no pause. That's a bullface truth.
Just a reminder, he had 4 home runs and 11 RBIs in the past 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but 21 ribbies here.
Yeah, 21 ribbies with a lot of baseball to go. You know what? I'm going to say bullface lie. I think he'll get there halfway. I think fairly comfortably with the home runs, couple short of the ribbies. Close.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a bullface lie as well. You know me, as much as I love Juan Soto, I'm hoping that he gets the 40 and 100. You know what's weird? I've never followed a player's stats. Like yesterday as I'm watching this game, I was watching outside trying to enjoy the last day by the pool, or at least one of the last days by the pool, and I let out a scream. My wife's like, what the hell? I was actually grilling yesterday. You'd be proud.
Oh, well,
fired up the grill for the second time
About 2 weekends too late.
We come to order food, which we appreciate. Right up there.
Jersey Mike's. What, you want me to cook a hot dog?
Dude,
and
your mother crushed you on Wednesday, by the way.
What do you mean?
Oh, I was like, oh, Sal's a great host. And she's like, is he really now? Let me guess what he served you. And she went down.
She's a big Jersey Mike's mama as well.
Yeah, she loves the Jersey Mike's. As a matter of fact, she did try to cater, but we kept being out during the summer, so we got to get that on the books here. Anyway, point is, I yelled out loudly for Soto, big scream that I'm sure my neighbors were thrilled with for that grand slam yesterday. I've never followed a player's stats so closely or rooted for somebody to get numbers like I have Juan Soto. So I really want the 40 and 100, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to 110 ribbies. That is 24 games to go. He's going to have 21 more ribbies.
Again, he had 11 RBIs in 4 games. Anything can happen.
Dude, if he gets I wouldn't be surprised with the homers. I think he's going to finish with 40 and like 103, something like that.
By the way, I could see why it's so personal. I mean, everything that went into the whole Juan Soto thing. Now, I've always been more numbers than you.
Yeah.
But you're...
Right, I'm not a numbers guy by nature.
No, but you're invested in this, and I'm just putting myself in your shoes or Loogie's shoes or Evan's shoe, like Met fan, Hoff, obviously. I mean, it would mean the world because it's addressing so many different things. Number one, it's helping the Mets. Number two, it's the whole, whether people want to admit it or not, the backdrop of the Yankees, and eventually that's going to expire, but it's year 1, right. So it hasn't fully expired yet.
There has never been a player that I wanted more or believed in more. Like, there have been players that you want, sure, okay, yeah, Beltran, I wanted Beltran, but then you see the bad first year, like, all right, it happens, I guess. I wanted Soto more than anybody because I knew that he was not going to struggle year 1. Got off to that slow start, and now all of a sudden you're looking at it, he's going to put up a historic season.
You like him better than Matt Harvey? I know Matt's your boy, or Ray Ordonez.
Yeah, Soto has surpassed all of them. Except that outfit that he was wearing yesterday. He looked like a mime. Did you see that?
I didn't happen to see the outfit.
You didn't see his post-game?
I didn't see it.
His post-game,
was
that's
his
what they
face
call, right?
painted?
Mimes?
Yeah, well, the panel like with where they don't speak.
He had a black shirt and it was fitted shirt because that's what Soto does.
Yeah.
With the white stripes, he looked like a mime.
He does look good in the uniform.
Minus the face paint.
A lot of neons, the oranges, the arm sleeves, one orange, one white.
He has
swag,
been
the belt.
Dude, I liked him before, but he has been criticized to a ridiculous level. People talking about his weight gain or him being unhappy. By the way, there is something that I want to get to that happened over the course of last week that pertains to Soto. We'll do that later on as far as some of the comments that he made about one of the leaders on the team. We got to do that, so remind me later. Go ahead, Hoff.
All right, I'll get by the way, if this is Juan Soto's bad season, I can't wait to see how he does in a good season.
I'm honestly worried he might not have a season like this again. I'm not kidding, dude. You think to say he's getting 40 home runs, only done once before. So, all right, go ahead.
All right, sorry. Let's go. Done with Soto for now.
You sure?
Yeah. Give me 5 minutes. Boldface Live, Boldface Truth. Sal, Jets will make the first official change at the starting QB position before the Giants this season.
Yeah, that's a bald-faced truth, unfortunately, because I don't think Field's style of play is conducive to staying healthy the entire year. We're talking about a permanent change, like who will, other than the starting quarterback.
At some point in time, whether it's a game or two, whatever it is, someone else is going to
not just
replace.
plays or anything like that.
And not because he's hurt, like just based on...
They're gonna sub in a new quarterback for the...
Not due to injury?
I mean, listen, I leave it up for interpretation, but that's how I meant
I was going to say, due to, I would say it this way: the backup quarterback will start a game for the Jets before the backup starts for the Giants. But if you're taking injury out of that, then no, there's no way. I don't think Fields would ever lose the job based on merit this year. Who's going to lose it to?
Nobody.
Exactly.
No, the kid from Missouri. Nobody. He's not going to lose it. He's not that, unless he gets hurt. He's playing every game.
Right.
They're going to run him into the ground. Then there's really no reason not to. Like, they didn't draft him first in the first round. They didn't give him first round contract money. He's paid middle of the road, so they are going to put him in space. And if he gets hurt, he gets popped, they're not going to care. They're going to try to run for 1,000 yards with him. So he's the guy. He is absolutely, no question, the guy. Now, I'm not sure he's going to have a great season, but I'm saying in their minds, they're fully committed to him.
Right. So would you say bald-faced?
Bald-faced Sly. They're not going to go to anybody else. He's the quarterback.
So even if they're like 1-6 or 1-7,
there's nobody to go to.
No, but do you think,
who are you going to go to? Tyrod Taylor?
But then do you think the Giants will have a backup if you factor in potential for injury? When we're sitting here doing these shows, whatever week it may be, which team is going to have the backup quarterback? Whether it's Jameis, whether it's Dart,
it's going to be the Giants.
Okay. So that's where we just...
Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields healthy. He plays all 17 games.
Okay. All right. Final question, and I'm going to do this each week because that's what I told BT. So we're going to keep on doing it until...
I think I heard some of this the other day, driving around. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Ballface Lie, Ballface Truth, BT. Mets and Yankees will both make the playoffs.
Ballface Truth. Ballface Truth here. Listen, this has been fluid. Many twists and turns to this wacky season. Yeah, I feel very good about the Mets outlasting the Reds for the wild card. Don't think they'll win the division. That has not changed. I really didn't think the Yanks are going to win the division, and within 2.5 games, you got a chance, obviously. So I feel better about that, but not convinced, but definitely convinced they're a playoff team, no doubt. Both teams will be in bald-faced truth.
Yeah, it's a bald-faced truth. Come on. The question should be whether one would win the division.
Well, I think I'm going to have to upgrade it to... Well, last week it was a little more dicey.
When he
on
asked,
Tuesday.
it was more applicable. It made more sense. But maybe update it soon. But listen, now the Yankees are playing a good team. So a couple of good teams. So things could change fast. I mean, it
is a 12-game gauntlet for the Yankees.
No question.
But I never felt the Yankees were going to miss the postseason. I never really even felt the Mets were going to miss the postseason, although they were really testing our patience. The Yankees had maybe a week where it was like, I don't know, they're messing around, but did we really believe they weren't going to win make the postseason? I felt like they were going to win the division. I said that a while ago, even through the storm. I don't think Toronto's that good, and the Yankee schedule is going to get soft here to close out the season, so I'd expect them to play better against Toronto and Boston this go-around. I don't know about Houston. Who knows there? But, yeah, I think the Yankees still going to win the division, so maybe you should next week,
I'll do the division just for you guys.
But what if they lose 4 straight or they get swept by the Astros? It's still a playoff thing, maybe.
Yeah,
that's why I think it's week to week.
That's why it's week to week.
I like it.
Exactly.
All right, there you have it, a little bald-faced truth, bald-faced lie. BT and Sal on the fan, 888-808-1019. Wow, already 12 o'clock here. Down with the main topic of the day. Started the show talking about some football. Obviously, we'll take your calls on both the Mets and Yankees. We've gone over Soto, the Mets rotation. Yankees having Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield. Remind me something, too, BT. I'm actually going to make a note of this because I want to get to Boone, the aspect of Boone as far as that decision with Stanton in left field. Anyway, there's a lot here on the table. We'll reset when we come back and get to your calls, 888-808-1019.
Mets or Yankees, Jets or Giants, doesn't matter. WFAN breaks it all down with passion, knowledge, and non-stop New York energy. The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Clogged toilet, leaky faucet on one. Ready?
Uh-oh, you got a plumbing problem blitzing through the line. Time to audible and call in the pros. Roto-Rooter is your go-to defense for clogs, leaks, and any plumbing fix. Call the right play and download the Roto-Rooter app and easily book an appointment and receive exclusive service discounts. Touchdown! Don't get sacked by plumbing issues. Call in Roto-Rooter, your MVP for plumbing solutions. Download the app today and score big on savings.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Get away to the Atlantic City in Waterboat Show. 4 days only, September 4th to the 7th at the Golden Nugget Marina. See the new boat models from all the major manufacturers. Buy $15 advance tickets at acinwaterboatshow.com. See you there.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The Rico Bronya podcast on the Odyssey app is proudly sponsored by Mio Sparkling Sake, the official sake of the New York Mets. Enjoy at Citi Field or your favorite spot. A new tradition in sake, Mio Sparkling Sake.
Week 1 starts now. And every touchdown brings you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WFAN. That's code WFAN to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. 21 and over. New York only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
This is Tiki Barber. You definitely don't want your heating system to fail this winter. So call my friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Have them check your heating system before it breaks. I know Edison Heating and Cooling. They can fix anything. Go now to edisonhvac.com.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Luxury just got tripled with Mercedes-Benz of Edison, Union, and Freehold, New Jersey. 3 powerhouse locations, 1 legendary name. Ray Katina. More selection, more convenience, and more ways to drive excellence. Experience the power of 3. Visit benzfam.com.
Talk sports with BT and Sal. Middays 10 to 2. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1 New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports
Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Ray Katina. Experience the power of 3. Visit bensfam.com. Sean Manaea threw the latest dud from a Mets starter yesterday afternoon in Detroit, but help may be on the way. Tyler McGill has another rehab start coming for AAA Syracuse, and Nolan McLean is back on the mound tonight. He's almost a full week removed now from that 8-inning gem against the Phillies. The first pitch in Motown, 6:40 on Odyssey Mets radio. The Amazons remain 6 games behind the Phillies in the division, 4 up on the Reds for the last wild card spot. The Padres are 2 games ahead of them for those wild card standings. They lost all-star reliever Jason Adam last night to a season-ending ruptured quad tendon. And the Yankees have pulled into Houston for 3 with the first-place Astros. They're 3 games clear of the Mariners at the moment. Tonight's first pitch is a 10 here on The Fan. Fan weather is sponsored by NJMEP Manufacturing Day on October 3rd in Freehold. If you work in New Jersey manufacturing, your chance to network, learn, and connect with resources for your business is October 3rd, the annual Made in New Jersey Manufacturing Day in Freehold. Both gubernatorial candidates will be there, share their vision for industry in New Jersey. Register today at njmep.org. It is 72 degrees, mostly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, The Fan, on the Odyssey iHeart and
on The Fan. 888-808-1019 is the number to call. We are down with the king topic of the day, BT. We'll mix in a couple of different things here because we started the show talking about the NFL season being back, days away from NFL football that counts. And obviously Sunday, you have both the Jets and the Giants in action at 1 o'clock. Jets host the Steelers, Giants on the road in Washington. And for me, while I'm excited as anybody else, we're all football fans. We get it. The fantasy, the betting, the watching the games, whatever team you root for. Cannot wait for that. Doing the picks on Friday. Love football season. Nothing better. I do think the expectations need to be brought down to a realistic level for both the Jets and Giants. It feels like both fan bases are, to me, being a little unrealistic with the expectations for the upcoming season.
Well, I mean, listen, I know why you feel that way because, you know, it's been a lot of optimism here, and neither team's really earned it. I mean, based on the roads and the what they put us through for far too long here. But I don't think it's completely out of whack with where I think both of these teams will be, unless, and I haven't really quite heard this yet, although you never know what we'll hear this week on the station. Like, if you're a Giant fan and you think that Jackson Dart's going to get in there week 5 and lead the Giants to, a gaudy win total, I think that's a little much. If you think that the Jets are going to go 12-5 in Glen, that's much. But I just think it's been a fun, smooth, stable offseason, which has put both fan bases in a pretty good mood. There's no nonsense, no, what's the clock on this coach? When's this guy going to get fired? When's that guy going to get benched? It just seems like there's more clarity going into the season for both teams. And I think that that's justified because I think the rosters are better, the depth is better, and I'm definitely we're both excited. I think the Jets and the Giants will pump out a couple of more wins each than you do.
Yeah, I just don't see any way. Like, if you were to tell me the Jets would be a playoff team, I'd say, there's no chance. I just don't see any chance. But that doesn't mean they can't have a successful season. It's year 1 with Muji and Aaron Glenn, and the foundation is in place, and the floor should be raised. I want to see clean, consistent, disciplined, competitive football. Like, before you get to they're going to win 9 games or 10 games and be a team that can mess around and get to the playoffs. Before you get there, can we see some consistent competition, competitiveness from the Jets? Clean those things up. And we haven't seen that in years, even with Robert Saleh, and they win, 7 games a year. Okay, well, 7's not an awful win total in what would be year 1 of a new regime. But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about doing it the right way because you can fall into some wins by accident and still not being done the right way. So I think the pieces are in place. I just need to see it for the Jets. I don't look at them in the AFC in particular as being a playoff. I mean, the AFC is loaded up. So I can't say playoffs on the Jets, but nor do I think that they have to get there to be successful. Whereas the Giants, it's different. It's year 4. Dable, Shane, like their players are all here now. No more excuses. Daniel Jones not being forced on them. They got their young quarterback in waiting. They have a loaded defense. They got their draft picks. Go out there and win some football games. It went from 9 wins and a playoff to 6 wins and then 3 wins last year. Like, it's about time they start winning some games, and their schedule is brutal. And if they don't win the first 2 games, I think the Giants season could turn quickly. The difference is they have the escape hatch where they just turn to Jackson Dart, and everybody forgets about the wins because even now, fans are more concerned about Jackson Dart than they are about the Giants trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson happens to be a very capable, former champion, future Hall of Famer who happens to be here. And he'll be better than Daniel Jones, but not good enough to keep Dart off the field all year. And listen, Giant fans should be excited about that. Dart looked very good, and he flashed a lot in the summer. But what is the difference here, Sal, outside of schedule? And I would have to really go back and look at the schedule, like the thought of the Giants' schedule in 2022 when they won 9 games.
Yeah.
So if we look at track record, the reason why it's hard for you or others who think maybe I'm a little bit too optimistic with the Jets and the Giants going in is because of the track records. It's all based on that. Much like a lot of people say, well, the Yankees will figure a way to make the playoffs because they usually do. I don't really wrap myself up in that, but I understand why some people gravitate to that thought process because you are associated with either wins or losses, and the Giants, a lot of losses lately. But before the 9-win season, they were 4-13, they were 6-10, they were 4-12, they were 5-11, they were 3-13. So there was zero evidence that they had the right coach, the right quarterback. They had nothing tangible that led us, if we go back to what you were saying on the overnights and what I was saying to Tiki back in 2022, I thought they were going to be terrible.
Same thing. But it was year 1 of a new regime, and I'm thinking, okay, let's see what you have here. Maybe win 6 games, whatever it may be, but you want to see that the proper pieces are in place. They went out there and won 9 games, and maybe it was the worst thing that could happen because then the expectations got raised, and they fell flat on their face the year after that with Daniel Jones leading the way, with the injuries, whatever you want to say. But now they actually have to show me some wins. I still don't believe. I believe in Dable. I don't believe that this Giants team can win a lot of games with the way that their schedule lays out. And plus, they haven't done it before. So before I say that they're going to do it, I'd like to actually see them do it.
No, I get it. But that's why when you say they haven't done it before, that's why I bring up the 2022 season because those 5 or 6 seasons before
proved to be the outlier.
No question, but that's a different conversation. I'm talking about like this year. Could there be some wins? Could there be some promise? And Aaron Glenn just said something. I saw it during the break and it's a perfect answer. He was asked about what we're talking about. Maybe we can find. Maybe Hoff can play it for us at some point before we get out of here. Where he was, what should Jet fans expect? What's the thought process for Jet fans this year? And he said it was great. He said, I just want Jet fans to be proud of us at the end of the year.
Yes.
Smart answer.
Love it.
Don't get wrapped up in the weeds, playoffs, Super Bowl. Don't give us the nonsense. Well, we're here to win the Super Bowl, even though that's the thought process for every team. But I thought it was a very realistic approach here.
I love that answer.
I do too. I mean, the more I think about it, as soon as I saw it, I loved it. I love it even more as I actually said it on the air. It's perfect. And even he was even asked about Rodgers, like, what did you see on film from Rodgers last year? He took a pass at that. Aaron Glenn, to me, has shown the ability in a very small sample to really redirect the energy and what could be a potential story or like a little combustibility. Like, he just disarms everybody. Like, I just think he's great with how he handles the media. So I think it's a good tone setter. And I think that Dable's learned a lot here. I think that both men, for different reasons, with different rosters, have a chance to be, certainly from a Jets perspective, on the periphery of a wild card, early December, late November, and the Giants to squeeze out a couple of wins earlier than maybe some people think.
That's where I disagree. Why does it have to be about the playoffs from a Jets perspective?
Doesn't have to be.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I don't think it's as unrealistic. No, I'm not judging Aaron Glenn.
I got it.
If Aaron Glenn doesn't make the play, no way. That is just pure idiocy. What I'm saying is, it's not it could wind up being the destination or the result, but it's not like that's not on my GPS. No way. That's unfair.
You have that quote there, Hoff, from Aaron Glenn? Let's listen to it. Go ahead.
Define a successful season. What would define a successful season? I want to be a team to where the fans will look up and say, we're proud of that team. And if they say that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy because within that, I know that wins will come.
It's perfect. perfect.
Yeah, it is a
answer.
perfect. It's kind of what I'm saying without saying it perfectly the way that he did, where I want to see a team that plays sound, smart football consistently and is competitive week in, week out. We haven't seen that with either team.
Yeah.
And that's a team that you can be proud of. And at the end of the year, if you're 6-11, you say, you know what? We fought hard. We won a lot of these games. The foundation is in place. We cleaned up the lack of discipline, all that stuff. We're going in the right direction, even if it is 6 or 7 wins. But a team that you can be proud of, where in years past, it's like, God, these teams stink. Yeah, they have all the talent in the world, but they're not very good. Giants, I do think, is a different level.
I agree. Yeah. I think the Jets and the Giants analysis is a little different. Yeah. I do. I'm with you on that. I think, Sal, that the last time, based on what Aaron just said, I think the last time I was actually proud of the Jets was probably 2015 when they didn't make the playoffs. Now, I didn't love the way it finished there when they lost up in Buffalo, but they won 10 games, and Decker and Marshall 1,000 yards each, and Fitzpatrick had a good year. Like, I honestly think that that's the last time I felt good. Now, it ended in misery because if they win, they're in. It's 11 wins, and you're a playoff team. But there hasn't been a modicum of pride, not a speck of pride for the Jets' perspective. The Giants, at least more recently, have had that going back to 22 and winning a road playoff game.
The only thing I would say, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, and maybe it's now certainly hindsight, at the time it wasn't this way, but in 2023, when Rodgers goes down and they still find a way to win 7 games, for a franchise that hasn't won 7 games a lot in their history, with the starting quarterback who the whole team was built around, going down in the dramatic fashion that he did, to win 7 games that year, not awful. Now, I know in and out we were disappointed because you still thought they could be a playoff team, but I don't think that was a team to be embarrassed of. That was a team that just had all their hopes shot on the first play of the year.
Yes, but that is different than saying that I walked around with pride that year, because what I was learning in real time was that Zach Wilson wasn't the guy. Even if I didn't want to admit it right away. You know, so like, and then like even Robert Sala, just it was really, and I defended him about as long as you could, but there were signs there like
defense was overrated.
The defense was always overrated, never got a late stop, and the things that I thought they'd be good at, they weren't. So no, they squeezed out 7 wins and they beat the Bills the night that Rodgers got hurt. So like at least you had a little flicker of hope there, but pride, I did not have pride that season, no.
NFL Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. BT and Sal on the Fan. Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Evan is in Astoria. What's up, Evan?
Hey,
what's up?
Well, first of all, I got a Jackson Dart prediction. I think we're looking at, and I don't think this is what anyone would do. I think that given the coaching situation, like how long they are trying to keep their jobs, I think if the Giants are 0-3 and then they're facing the Chargers, who are certainly not an easy team, I think that's if they're 0-3, that's when Jackson Dart's going to get the call. And it's really not what I would suggest doing, but I just think that's going to work out.
Yeah, but not if Wilson's playing well.
I mean, I agree that it is too early. I'm saying I think that's when they pull the trigger, because that's when people are going to start calling for it, and they don't have as much.
Well, then that's stupid.
They don't have as much as slack.
Okay, well then the Giants haven't learned a damn thing in this decade and a half, basically of a comedy of errors here. What the Giants can't do. Thanks for the call there, Evan. I know what you're saying. You don't agree with it. You're telling us what you think they will do. So I'm not coming at you. But if the Giants just caved into public sentiment because they started 0-3, then they're dumb. And they have not learned a damn thing, because now they're reacting to the fans and they're putting a young man who might not be ready, or the online might not be ready. That would be stupid.
There's no way they're doing that.
I don't think so.
There's no way. Now, the fans are calling for it already.
Some are.
The fans are calling for it in the preseason.
Yeah, I know.
So you know what's going to happen if they lose one of these first 2 games or both these first 2 games. Yeah, 0-3, then it's going to be even more so. But they're not. You can't go with that and get away from the plan after 3 weeks. I mean, the earliest, realistically, to me.
Let's go through it. I got the schedule up.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of thoughts on this. I got 2 spots.
The earliest for me, we've done this a couple of times, but now as the season's actually here, we're ahead of week 1. Might as well go over it now. The earliest to me that the Giants would pull the trigger for Jackson Dart would probably be week 11. Now, that would be the earliest. I'm not saying that I would do that, but I think that that's the earliest. You want to tell me that week 14 after the bye week, maybe that's more realistic? I would put it this way. I think definitively week 14, you're going to see Jackson Dart, because I don't think the Giants are going to be good enough before that to justify holding him off. So I'm going to say by week 14, The Giants' season will be effectively over as far as the playoff spot, and that's when Jackson Dart's going to go. But I don't think under any circumstance it would be earlier than Week 11.
Well, here's the thing, too. I mean, the Giants could be 0-3 just based, again, on the last call there. But Russell Wilson could have, I've just thrown 7 touchdowns and 1 pick and doing his job, and the defense is getting gashed or whatever. The O-line's a mess or whatever it might be. So I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios. One I think would be reckless and foolish and way premature and counterproductive. That would be Week 5 at New Orleans. I've heard some Giant fans saying, I wouldn't do it. There's no way I'm doing that. That's a desperation move because it's a game that they could be favored in depending upon how they look.
You can have them face the Eagles and Broncos the next 3 weeks.
Especially since the Eagles game is in prime time, and then you got to go to Denver with the altitude, then you got to go to Philly. No, I'm saying I'm not. But what I'm saying is that Week 1, 2, 3, or 4 to me are completely off the table. Even if they're 0-4 and they look heinous, I'm not doing Week 5. And I don't think that they would. I think what I would do would be Week 10 in Chicago. It's
on the road.
Yeah, it's not like it's late December in Chicago. The weather shouldn't be frigid. You're not throwing them out there to the wolves. I don't think Chicago's going to be that good. And then depending upon how that goes, now you come back, you play Green Bay, which is not going to be very easy, but at least you're home. So, but I don't even really think that necessarily happens. I do believe it's after the bye, but for me, at least the one that would be a sound, pragmatic decision and not forced and rushed and sloppy and dangerous, Week 10 at Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, let's paint worst case scenario. Lose to the Commanders, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Chiefs.
Yep.
Lose to the Chargers or whatever. They split the Saints and Chargers games, however that happens. So they would be 1-4. 1-4. Lose to the Eagles, 1-5.
Yep.
Lose to the Broncos, 1-6. Lose to the
They can beat
Eagles.
the Broncos. You can't tell you. They can't put Bo Nix in a cycle. They can make
in
Bo
Denver
Nix
with
as
that
well.
defense.
I'm just saying the Jets almost beat the Broncos last
let's
year.
say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of those first 8 games with the Eagles, again, let's say they win 2 games, 2-6.
Okay.
That's not worst case scenario because I think it actually could be worse. But let's say they're 2-6 there. Niners at home. 2-6 is not going to get it done, is it? You're not going to at 2-6. They're not going to Jackson Dart.
I wouldn't do that, especially that Week 9, as you say, the Niners. That's a 1:00 early kick, 3 hours early. Niners coast to coast.
I'm not doing that.
I'd play Russell Wilson that game as well.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that even with the worst case scenario, I can't envision. Now, if they lost the Niners and Bears game, different story. Against the Packers, at home, I could see that being a softer landing spot. But I think more realistic, we're not going to see Jackson Dart until post-bye week.
Okay, now.
And then I would say not only until I think that is when we're going to see him, because I do think the Giants are going to lose more than they're going to win, which is going to set up the old conversation. It's going to be Dart.
Yeah.
Bye week, get things set. Jackson Dart's going to be our starter moving forward.
I think that's a pretty good roadmap there, and I don't really completely disagree. I might be a little bit earlier with that Bears game in Week 10 here, but here's the other wrinkle. We got to throw this in. What if Russell Wilson gets hurt?
Well, I think they're going with Jameis, though.
Well, I do too, but don't you think that they'd be more or less married to Jameis than they are Russell, or the same thing?
I don't. I think that the plan is win games with Russell Wilson as our starter, Jameis Winston as the backup. Dart is a separate conversation, different type of season.
What if Jameis is throwing pick sixes like he always does?
And then
because Russ is not doing that. Russ might not win, but Russ is not going to embarrass himself like Jameis could.
Then they'll get to a point where I don't think they're going to go to Jameis. I don't think they're going to Jameis unless Russell gets hurt. I think he's going to be there as a backup.
I agree, but that's why I say, what if Russ gets hurt?
I think it's going to be Jameis, and it'll be his show until post-bye week. I really
that's where I would disagree.
I still don't think you see Dart start anytime before Week 11.
Now, listen, I mean, it's just a conversation of who knows, but at least to me, there's a stability, and I like Jameis. I think he's good for the quarterback room, and I think he's bringing something to the table, and I love his moxie. But Russell Wilson is not going to throw multiple pick sixes or throw 5 picks in a 2-game span. I don't think. Jameis Winston highly capable, and I almost expect him to do that if he plays up for a couple of games in a row. They're not going to put up with that. It's why one thing to put up with maybe a bit of a benign offense, but Russell's not. He's not great. He's not terrible. If Russell goes down early and gets hurt, and Jameis goes in there and he's throwing it to the wrong team, that's a dangerous combination because you can't run that slop out. That's what will change the way the Giants are perceived if it's that ugly.
Ian is calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. What's up, Ian?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Yo, what's happening, buddy?
So I'm a lifetime Jets fan, and I agree with what you're saying earlier about them has just been like a decent season, like Aaron Glenn's, just having a season to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're not here, and they're not, like you said, kind of not looking for the playoffs.
Your line's worse than your football team in North Carolina. Yeah, give us a call back give us a call back from a better line, Ian. But we appreciate you checking in. Yeah, for Jeff, and I think you should be. It's just they're two different seasons. When you're going into a year with the fourth year of a regime with Shane and Dable, it's totally different evaluation than it is with the Jets with year one of a new regime. That's just the facts. And with the Giants, it's kind of, even within the fourth year, BT, it's kind of a split year where that the first part of the year is going to be year four. Let's see what you can do. Veteran, you brought in your players on defense, veteran quarterback. Let's see them win some games. But they also had that safety valve of Jackson Dart saying, okay, well, this plan didn't work. Now we've got Jackson Dart. And that's going to be the tale of the two seasons. Maybe they're hoping that they don't have to have Jackson Dart start at all this year, see how much success they could have with Russell Wilson. But you'll know it when you see it with the Giants and Dable and Shane with their team this year definitively. With the Jets, it's just year one.
I'd be surprised if Russell doesn't score some points with that offense. I mean, obviously, Andrew Thomas has to play. Andrew Thomas gets hurt. If he gets hurt again like he always does, and I hope he doesn't, well, then all bets are off, and the season's probably down the tubes. I said, I don't know if you were here or one of the days that we weren't together right before the holiday. I think he's the most indispensable, most important football player in New York. More than the quarterbacks, more than anybody. That includes the Jets and the Giants. It's Andrew Thomas. So if he's healthy, between Neighbors and the trio of receivers, and I think they'll be able to run the ball pretty well, and the defense should be really good, at least the pass rush front seven. I think Russ can score some points, win some games.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could go there with Thomas because I don't know if I could trust he's ever going to stay healthy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's the most, if he gets hurt, I don't think there's another injury for either team that would adversely impact the team more than if Andrew Thomas gets hurt again for the Giants. It's not even close, I don't think.
And that's a big, part of the lack of quality quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Usually you point right to the quarterbacks, but if Russell Wilson gets hurt, what's the difference, really? The Giants weren't going to win many games anyway. I don't want to say you want to see him get hurt, but a lot of fans rather see Jackson Dart. If Fields get hurt, it's going to be a problem if Justin Fields gets hurt, but is it really that big of a difference and a drop-off from Tyrod Taylor?
No. There is one situation, and we don't even really need to expand on this, but there is one situation we did not incorporate. Hope this doesn't happen. Russell plays poorly or gets hurt. Jameis plays poorly or gets hurt. Jackson Dart gets out there on the field and doesn't play well. We have not incorporated that because he had a good summer. Yeah. Now, I like him. And I think they did a bold move drafting him, and I do think that Dable's going to coach him up, and he looks to have enough tools. He is very impressive. But it was the summer against vanilla-based defenses without blitzing and that. Because we keep saying, well, at least they have Dart. When the season goes awry, Jackson Dart will change the prospects of the season. What if he doesn't?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that'll be another conversation I think we are going to have later in the year when Jackson Dart takes over as a starter. And then it's going to be, okay, well, now he's starting. Now is he any good or not? BT and Sal on the field. We'll get back to your baseball calls as well as the NFL stuff. 888-808-1019. WFAN NFL Football is powered by Verizon. Get to your local Verizon store today. Guys, by now you've heard me talk about Collars & Co., makers of the dress collar polo. They've already sold over 1 million of these amazing shirts. Well, Collars & Co. just came out with the new Maverick Performance Blazer. This blazer is sharp and wrinkle resistant, so you could travel anywhere with it. Just throw it in your bag and it will remain wrinkle free. It even comes with security zip pockets, a sunglasses loop, and an optional pocket square. So visit collarsandco.com and check them out today.
There's a line drive right field. That ball is hammered.
The Yankees are in Texas taking on the Astros. 8:10 tonight. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play. The home of Yankees baseball is The Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hear that? That's the beginning of a journey powered by the confidence that comes from driving a vehicle so reliable. It's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Where your journey ends? Well, that's up to you. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
See retailer for warranty details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available.
Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the entire job, all from one partner. To get access to over 3 million products, including many products you won't find in our stores. It's time to get delivery on your schedule or next day on over 50,000 products. And time to get dedicated support on the job site or in our stores. From ordering to planning, we've got you. One partner, any job, all in. Ask about all we can now do at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
We've got more sports talk coming up on The Fan.
It's time for the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event.
The what now?
The Nissan End of Summer Sales Event.
End of summer?
Yes, Nissan End of Summer.
But I have so many more hot dogs to grill. It was just starting to get good.
Sales event. Here to help you keep your summer in gear.
That sounds interesting.
Test drive the best-selling Nissan Rogue with more standard power.
Cool.
The rugged Nissan Frontier with a standard V6.
Nice.
Or the adventure-ready Nissan Pathfinder or Nissan Murano.
I better hurry in.
To the Nissan End of Summer Sales Event and see why J.D. Power ranks Nissan #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands.
#1?
Yes, #1. Get 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue, Pathfinder, or Murano. For J.D. Power 2025 US IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year for well-qualified buyers. Available from new dealer stock. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand finance. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Water damage happens fast. So can the cleanup when you call on the restoration specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO to help make it like it never even happened. That's 1-800-SERVPRO.
Franchises are independently owned and operated.
Dunkin's $6 meal deal is kind of wild. You get a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, 6-piece hash browns, and a medium hot or iced coffee, all for $6. That's the main character meal energy you need this fall. Get it now in Dunkin' stores or order ahead on the Dunkin' app. No substitutions. Participation and times may vary. Offer price varies in California and Hawaii. Limited time offer cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions and terms apply.
Looking for the ultimate family day trip? Just minutes from Manhattan, American Dream is the biggest indoor entertainment complex on the East Coast with over 25 major attractions, from water slides and wave pools at DreamWorks Water Park and coaster and rides at Nickelodeon Universe to ski slopes, shark tanks, arcades, and laser tag. There's something for everyone. Plus, shop and dine at hundreds of amazing spots all under one roof. Book now. Your kids will thank you. AmericanDream.com.
If you're in the market for Michelin tires, get to Town Fair Tire and get them at the guaranteed lowest price. With Michelin's innovative technologies designed for durability and performance, you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires over all the toughest of road conditions. Plus, at Town Fair, you get free services for life. So if you're looking for the best deal on Michelin tires, get to Town Fair, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Catch all the play-by-play with Susan Waldman and Dave Sims. The home of Yankees radio. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal back on the Fan. We'll have Brian Baldinger coming up in about 15 minutes or so as we start to get the NFL feel going, BT. You know how it is in season with the regular football guests, and looking forward to having Nick Costos on Friday, getting into our perfect parlay pick segment, all that stuff. So the entire conversation that we just had about 10 minutes ago, I think is null and void. The Giants have released their depth chart. Jackson Dart is QB2.
Is he?
Yes. Do you believe that?
I'm surprised.
I'm just seeing it now.
Wow.
Adam Schefter tweeting out about 8 minutes ago now. Giants Week 1 depth chart lists Jackson Dart as Russell Wilson's backup QB2.
Wow.
So let's have the conversation again.
Forget everything we just said. Start now.
Because that does change my thinking on things. Now, not as far as Dart going to be named the starter. I still don't think that's something they're itching to do anytime soon. However, now you could always still have, in the event of an injury, they just have Jameis Winston start and leapfrog. It doesn't mean that you're going to have Dart start immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a little surprised by this, that Dart would be QB2, which means maybe they're more willing to have him get into game action sooner than later. I was thinking more, okay, just have him for the most part until the season's over or next year. Maybe that's not the case.
This is very interesting. It shows that they've got a lot more confidence in where he is than even we thought. And we knew, or certainly surmised, that there was a good amount of confidence there. Okay, so I remember saying right before camp started, and I wonder if this is the next step here, like, if you're going to have Dart, and he looks to be the right player.
You were saying cut Jameis.
And not about Jameis, but like, why would you have QB3 if it was Dart, which we all thought it would be going into the season, and obviously during the summer? Why would you have him be QB3 when QB2's barely getting any reps in practice? It's all going to be QB1. So to me, that would just kind of retard his development from a practice perspective if he was the third quarterback, Dart. And now, since it's the other way, now what I would say is, well, probably do the right thing by Jameis and maybe trade Jameis or whatever and let him go play football. I'd take him on the Jets as a backup, actually.
Yeah.
The other thing,
if
so that was the first
unhappy,
thought.
because if I'm the Giants, I'd still like to keep Jameis and his personality and leadership and veteran experience, all that.
Yeah,
I want to keep him in a room, but if he's not happy.
I do too, but I read something, and who knows? I saw something over the weekend and it wasn't like that there was a problem, but there was a little. Well, I don't want to overstate this, so I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, and I'm not trying to misrepresent the situation at all. But there was and I don't want to use the word contentious, but I will, like a little bit of a contentious exchange between neighbors and Jameis. And so wherever I saw it, they were talking about how that's a lot of energy from those two young men, which is a good thing. But when one of them's not the starter, is it worth it? So I don't know. Maybe this is their way of eventually moving on from Jameis earlier than some people thought. The other thing, too, is if you're the number 2 quarterback, does that tell us that there might be some sub packages starting early in the season for Jackson Dart, which we saw Brian Dable throw him in there in the middle of the game? We're like, oh, and then like we all thought, like, I guess that's it for Russell Wilson. Then the next, and he completed the pass. Then the next snap, Russell Wilson came back in. He wanted to see where he was mentally, and there was a lot of checkpoints that Jackson Dart passed this summer with his eyes shut in a favorable way.
I could see that being the case, but that's a big difference than having him being ready to potentially start a game sooner than later. What happens? So now we'll go over the hypothetical again. What happens if the Giants start 1-5? You're telling me that now you're not going to consider going to the backup, the future of the franchise? If he's already QB2 and you're going to have him in games in certain packages, which I believe was the case from the beginning.
Yep.
But I always thought it was just going to be a one-off. All right, get him some game action, not do it all the time. even as QB3. I did not think that they would want Jackson Dart to start this early. The fact that he's QB2 and going to be taking all those reps, I do think now he's closer to starting. Well, I mean, literally closer to starting because he's QB2 than if he were QB3, but maybe it can happen sooner than I was looking at beyond that bye week or week 11 with the Packers.
I don't think there's any doubt that we have to adjust whatever it was 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, right.
And I brought up that Saints game, which is week 5 in New Orleans. And now
Still, you got the Eagles and Broncos after that.
But they know that. Yeah. They know who they have, and we know who they have, and we know that it's daunting. I'm sure they do as well. The fact that he's quarterback number 2 going into the season opener tells me that they're not nearly as alarmed about the treacherous schedule and things that we seem to be a little bit more consumed with. They evidently think the young man can handle it.
Or that they're not as married to Russell Wilson. Now, Dable did say Russ is our starter. Okay, great. We understand that, so he's going to be the starting quarterback. But if something goes wrong, whether it be injury or whether it be just poor performance or stale performance or whatever, then from this move, now I don't feel like they're as married to the plan of Russ is our starter. We're going to have a veteran backup and just go the Kansas City model with Jackson Dart. To me, that's now out the window.
I agree with you.
Where it feels like Dart may be a hit away from being
He might be
QB1.
playing by early October. Honestly, it feels very different than it did a few minutes ago.
I'm shocked by that.
Do we give them... All right, so let's give them credit for having a plan, ultimately, and being proactive and aggressive. And let's see if that plan ultimately is right. But is there an element where you think this is a little reckless on the part of the Giants?
No, I'm going to have to trust Dable to avert from the play. Hey, this is our plan, but we've been impressed with the kid so far. And again, he's not starting, nor should he for now.
But if Russ pulls a hamstring week 1, he's playing.
Yeah.
He's in. He's on the field week 1. Russ gets dented. Go get him, kid. I mean, that's where we're at, Sal.
And that's a scenario that, to me, it would be reckless.
Well, then you should view it as reckless as QB2.
Well,
quarterbacks get hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but there's no rule saying that you couldn't go with although James is not going to be taking the second team reps. Yeah, I get it. I just, if it happened, I'm envisioning Russ at least staying healthy or being somewhat productive through the first, 7-8 weeks of the season. In the event that it's not, now you're throwing a rookie to the Wolves. I don't know. Even if Dart looked like he could handle it in the preseason, it would not be the model that I would follow. But I'm going to trust Brian Dable in this spot, saying that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But then they're going to be evaluated by how Dart, once he gets in there. See, to me, the definitive non-negotiable thing, you could say, well, Russell Wilson's supposed to be the starter, but now you're going to have Dart maybe sooner than later, whatever. Once you make the move to Jackson Dart, to me, that's it. He's your starter. I would never have him start, whether it be for injury or not, and then go back to Russell Wilson.
I'm with you.
Russ can lose the job due to injury. If he gets injured, Jackson Dart takes over. It's his team. That's it. This is the direction.
Yep.
So that's the one non-negotiable thing that I would have. I don't know if the Giants are going to have that in place or not, but that's what I would have. And then from there, then we can really fully evaluate what Jackson Dart's going to be with Brian Dable.
The only caveat is once you go to Dart, I'm with you that he should be the guy, but there could be a situation where he's swimming and you have to save him for the betterment of the future of the franchise. Like
Volpe.
Yeah.
Throw him some swimmies.
Those plugs too, right? That would be a fireable offense. We're all of the mindset that there was some communication, Mara to Shane, to Dable, get your quarterback, the clock restarts a little bit of a reset, no pressure to do anything cavalier now. You don't have to win 9 games to get back here and get a 5th year. Just show progress, show stability, draft somebody that you want, identify the kid in the draft, get him, coach him up, and show us some signs here. But if he goes out there and he looks completely overwhelmed, which I don't think he will. I'm just painting every scenario in real time. And he's overwhelmed, and the Giants keep running him out there, and it's counterproductive. Well, then they could actually fire themselves.
Yeah.
We think that they've got this, that they avoided the silver bullet.
No, they can't.
But there's a scenario where if they destroy the kid in the first 5 weeks of the season, and I'm John Mara, I'm like, yo, what the hell do you guys? What just happened here?
Maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm actually shocked, just because I thought that they had a definitive plan. Keep him at bay. Let him learn. Let him sit and watch. The Winston's here for a reason.
Let's go.
Jackson Dart, QB2 already. BT and Sal on the fan. We'll get back to your calls coming up in a little bit. We'll have Brian Baldinger when we come back, get some insight onto Baldy.
Hey, he's got some swag. I mean, you see the chain that he wears? I mean, if you don't have, and I don't mean just like going out there with drip. I mean, anybody could look drippy, but like you got to have some confidence if you're wearing that as a rookie quarterback. Got to have some confidence. All right, Sal, FanDuel's getting you ready for kickoff with an offer that you don't want to miss. New customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets back if you win. That's right. You pick a bet $5, and if you win, well, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app, however you want. Whether it's parlays, player props, futures, ride the lifelines. That is always an interesting navigation emotionally. Whatever your style, fan. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Sal just laughed. Oh,
yeah,
Sal
they
knows.
get me in trouble.
Oh, listen, it's when you win, it's great. When you lose, it hurts twice as much with those live bets. The question is, are you ready to play? And if so, how? Visit FanDuel.com/BT. Download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel.com/BT. The app is simple to use. It is awesome. It is easy. We love the app around here. Safe, secure. And when you get paid right away. FanDuel's the official partner of us here at WFAN. Must be 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And for help with a gambling problem, please call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
As a manager, getting to know his potential closer, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get the first crack at it. He let this guy go out and finish the job, and I'm telling you, that type of stuff the team can build off of.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Maggie Gray with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Of all the Week 1 college football highlights, only one really mattered. It was a matter of life and death. Army safety Larry Pickett Jr. and his dad spotted a crash car tangled in live wires. Without hesitation, they jumped over a power line and pulled the driver out just before the car went up in flames. On and off the field, he's showing what real courage and service look like. I'm Maggie Gray.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we believe athletes are defined by their journey, not the medals they win. And creating a safer stage for all levels of competition is our priority. Join the movement to end abuse at uscenterforsafesport.org.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp today. We have representatives nationwide and services to showcase your invention. Get started today.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380.
Get away to the Atlantic City in Waterboat Show. 4 days only. September 4th to the 7th at the Golden Nugget Marina. See the new boat models from all the major manufacturers. Buy $15 advance tickets at acinwaterboatshow.com. See you there.
Hey, it's John Gallucci Jr., President and CEO at JAG Physical Therapy. When I was a young clinician practicing as a physical therapist, I used to see people come into the clinic and say to myself, these simple injuries can all be prevented if you visit your physical therapist before the injury, such as strengthening, flexibility, balance. My physical therapist and myself are here to treat you. If you get injured with a slip or fall around the house, or you strain your low back, or you happen to hurt your knee golfing, JAG Physical Therapy has state-of-the-art facilities where our physical therapists have top-notch equipment to help you recover from your injury or illness as quick as possible and ready to go back into the game of life.
JAG is the only outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy provider that serves the 5 boroughs, Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Schedule your visit today at jagpt.com. That's JAGPT.com.
Get back the life you love at JAG Physical Therapy.
Hey, this is Tiki Barber. Those of us living in New Jersey got hit with a 20% electric rate increase. If your current heating system is over 15 years old, it's time for a new high-efficiency Carrier system. And there's only one company to call for a new one. My friends at Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts for over 38 years. Older heating systems waste gas. So get your system checked now and save money with Edison Heating and Cooling. Contact them now at edisonhvac.com. That's edisonhvac.com.
We're always talking New York sports on The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Connecticut's best values at Town Fair Tire. They honor all manufacturer and valid competitor rebates, offer the most free services for life, plus give you the guaranteed lowest price. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody!
Town Fair Tire.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Talk New York sports here. The Fan.
Is in midseason form. We were supposed to have Brian Baldinger on, but Baldy is NA. What happened there, Hoff? You want to let us know? We were told Baldy would be on at 12:40. What do we got?
So I was talking to Cam Schlittler on the line. No. I texted yesterday. I went through every single guest that we have to make sure and clarify that we are good this week.
Right, because next week, different full week, obviously, with this week, Labor Day, no Monday.
I reached out to Costos. I reached out to Baldy. And there's a text and a response from Baldy. I said, tomorrow, 12:40, are you good to join to preview NFL?
Yes.
And he replied, yes.
Now, this was yesterday you sent this text.
12:21 yesterday.
Did you specify Eastern time?
Well, here's the thing with him is that he thought it was next week.
Okay.
And he said that he had to change his flight, so he just happened to everything was moving around, so he's about to take off right now.
Okay. So, well, as we await the Jets and Giants result for Week 1, Huff 0-1. And he's mad at me today, Huff.
Why?
Because I didn't go hard enough about Soto with you.
What?
He wanted me to go harder on Soto. Huff?
Yeah, you were soft today.
In what regard?
That's what I said.
Well, I heard for the longest time that he couldn't hit 40 home runs because he's not batting behind Judge.
He wanted a piece of you today, Huff.
Mm-hmm.
Or he wanted me to get a piece of you today for the Soto.
That's your job. I'm sitting over here answering phone calls and doing my thing and screwing up guests.
I thought we handled the Soto thing just fine. I brought it up. We didn't know the numbers. We see what's going on.
I'm good.
BT and Sal, the Fan, 888-808-1019. We'll get back to the baseball stuff here.
God, Soto stuff.
No Balding. Huh? I mean, what?
I'm over it.
Oh, of course you're over it now. Oh, wait, now BT's over it. Before he was saying, Juan Soto, his numbers aren't really that good. I would never pay 15 years for him.
Funny that
He's not good.
I got a DM.
God.
I got a DM today from somebody who will remain nameless that said, he sent me that tweet that I was telling you before about the 40 homers, 30 stolen bases, 100 ribbies.
Mm-hmm.
Could BT spin this? And I said,
I could, but I'm not going to. I mean,
I said, no way, it's over now.
I wouldn't do that because he is hitting incredibly well, but the stolen bases, let's face it, the Mets have the best first base coach of the business. The only time they get thrown out stealing is when the opposing pitcher picks them off.
Right.
Because that guy's amazing. They got everything timed down to a science. And it's like Juan Soto runs well all of a sudden. He just is the beneficiary of some great timing.
Yesterday.
Well, you told me to spin. Yeah, you did. You told me to spin it, There's the spin. They got a great first base coach.
I said there will be no spinning. We all acknowledge the greatness of Juan Soto at this particular point.
And I also acknowledge it took him 2 months to get going. That's a fact.
Should we bring up Kyle Tucker's numbers?
He's red hot. You could. Actually, if there's ever time to do it now. Finally, he got hot the last 4 games. He got benched. He got benched for 3 games. Did you know that?
3 games got benched.
Kyle Tucker got benched for 3 games, then he came back on a rampage.
Maybe the Yankees should take notes.
I am curious. Let me just look at Tucker's numbers because I remember the whole Tucker Soto thing. Yeah. And by the way, as you try to twist this and you two try to double team me, make me look like the bad guy.
I'm just telling you.
What I would say is that, remember, just don't forget the genesis of the conversation. It was never who is a better hitter. It's who's a better all-around player.
Right.
And I also saw Juan Soto take a step back on a little base hit flare to right field, but we don't really need to bring that up today because he's hitting very well. I mean, there's other things to branch into. Kyle Tucker right now, is this head-to-head? Is this updated? Please be updated. I don't know if it is.
Well, I got Soto's numbers here if you want.
Okay. I got Soto's too.
They're embedded in my mind anyway, but.
I know. What? Tucker. We're not popping up, man. Tucker. Stats,
of course they're not popping up.
Well, something wrong with the damn computer.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, do the computers ever work around here? That's actually not my fault. Dude, by the way, he's basically got the same OPS as Juan Soto.
What does he have?
845.
Okay. 845.
No. Juan Soto is over 900.
I said basically.
No, that's not even close.
Okay,
hold on, that's not even close.
That's my math.
Hold on a second. So let me ask a question. Anthony Volpe, when he's 666 OPS at the end of the season, is basically 700?
I was going to get to
I didn't
Volpe.
say basically.
Okay, but you said 845.
Same neighborhood.
845 and 915. That's a huge difference.
Same neighborhood. No,
75-point difference.
What about the batting average?
What is Tucker?
Plus 16 for Tuck.
You could have those.
I don't know how many bases he stole.
I was going to say, does he have those stolen bases?
He was, but honestly, he was benched. He was playing like gas for a month. He's got 25.
All right, there you go. So stolen bases similar.
Defense, I'm sure Tucker advantage.
Where is he at? All kidding aside, with homers, you have that up there?
21.
That's low.
He's low.
I like
had a
Tucker
better
too.
year,
We're
no
just,
question.
obviously busting chops here about
Soto's
Soto.
had a better year.
Can I give you the last 2 months real quick?
You could.
Kyle Tucker, for the last 2 months, about 49 games, batting .225, OPS 689, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs. Juan Soto batting .254, 939 OPS, 16 home runs, 43 RBIs, 17 stolen bases.
Yeah.
I think the better comp would be Tucker and Volpe as opposed to Tucker and Soto.
So why are the last 2 months for Tucker applicable and the first 2 months in real time for Soto back then were not?
Well, we're just talking because you just said he's hitting now.
Let's just.
So I'm talking about the now.
But I'm saying for all those revisionists out there, and there's a lot of them who thought that Soto was amazing and obscuring or glossing over stuff. So if we reference 2 months of Tucker, let's continue to reference 2 months of Soto,
Hey, I ripped Soto
which actually did happen.
The first 20,
I know you did.
Yeah, the first 20 games.
I'm not even saying this show. I'm saying a lot of people.
There is a big difference, by the way, and all kidding aside, we're having some fun with it. There is a big difference, though, because people still get on me online when I'm saying, like, 100 now, that's my new nickname, not Juan Soto, 100. And they're like, it says the guy who's been ripping them all year long. I don't know who you're listening to, but it's not me who's been ripping them all year long. Now, I was, if not the first, one of the first to rip him after 20 games, and that's because he wasn't doing anything close to what he should be doing after 20 games. So there's a big difference between holding somebody accountable for not doing what they're supposed to do and believing believing in somebody. Like, even while I was knocking him for his first 20 games, we always knew Soto was going to. Now, I will say, even I did not think he was going to have this type of power year, especially with the way that he was starting out the year.
I didn't think he was going to finish with these numbers. I did not.
I mean, we both said without Yankee Stadium and Judge hitting behind them, is he going to have 40 homers? Which
he never did it before, so why would we think that?
That's the point. And by the way, he still might not.
The Citi Field fits him well. It fits him well.
The power numbers have been there. As a matter of fact, I'd sacrifice a little bit of the power numbers to have the better runners in scoring position.
Yep.
He's down. The only thing Soto's down with so far.
RISP and average.
Average, yes. RISP is probably back up now because he's been on such a tear.
Well, not for the whole season. I mean, he's been on a RISP tear.
Well, that's what I mean.
But that was 5 months of subpar RISP.
Understood, but this run is like, he's almost hitting 1,000 in the last 14 games. He's like 8 for 9 or something like that.
I'm curious, what is he with
total
runners in scoring position for the whole year?
Certainly can't be the worst in baseball anymore.
No, there's no way it's the worst.
225.
What?
225.
Yeah, and what was he, like one something?
He was 169 or 170. No doubt.
And think about this. As bad as he's been all year long, he's got 90 ribbies now. Imagine.
Yeah, but that doesn't impress me as much. Like, to me, whether it's Juan Soto or Aaron Judge, like the RBIs, you are a byproduct of what's in front of you, honestly. And, while Lindor's had a little bit of an erratic year here and there, when he's been good, he's been great. When he's been cold, he's been a little chilly. Juan Soto, for the most part, is getting up there with guys on base and a chance to do some damage.
Right. All right. But he's got 90. He's probably going to have 100 RBI. Like
he
100
should, though.
RBI
Every
season.
3-hitter in baseball, 100. What is 100 RBI? There's guys with 100 RBIs now. See, this is where I'll start to push back again. You guys are telling me that he's going to get to 100 RBIs, and I agree. He's going to get there.
He should. He's got 24 games left.
No doubt. But there's also guys who are already there who aren't making nearly as much as him, and I don't just mean Aaron Judge.
Well, but it's not just the RBI. So then we could have the conversation and go to the stolen bases, the walks, the runs scored, the home runs. Like, who's got all of that? That's the issue, where there's not many people who do have that.
Well, and I would give you that. Where is he in terms of strikeouts based on previous totals?
Hold on, I just went out.
He's up there. He's very high on that.
Like, compared to what he's done previously, right?
I think he's like, this
might
could
set
be
an all-time high or no?
Going to be close to it.
Let me
put
see
that way.
here.
Can I ask you an honest question? Because you said, the RBI total doesn't really make a difference to you because, it's what a product is in front of you. So give me the exact number or the stat that you think is that I can evaluate and compare to other people.
Well, you know what it is. I've always. No, by the way, I'm not completely dismissing RBIs. I'm just giving some context that, like Don Mattingly at 145, he had Ricky Henderson in front of him. When Ricky wasn't there, he never had that again.
Well, Judge,
Hoff, that's the answer.
That's it.
For me.
You could say Judge from last year too, where Judge had 144 ribbies. With Soto in front of him, he's got 97 this year.
But he also missed 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, 2 weeks. I mean, it's 2 weeks, but he's come nowhere close. How many ribbies is he going to have in 2 weeks?
Well, he wouldn't have zero. I can promise you that.
I'll give you 20 more. How about that? He wouldn't have 20 ribbies, but I'll give you 20 more.
Right.
Even with that, he's coming nowhere close. He had 58 homers a year ago. He's got 43 this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
this is
for
Judge. I was saying the other day, now Cal Raleigh has really cooled down. I was making the case, and the odds now reflect the shift. Judge getting a little hot, Raleigh ice cold. I was saying the other day, I guess last week or so, that I think there's a conversation to be had. They both have the same record, talking about the MVP race, Raleigh and Aaron Judge. They have the same record just about. They're both going to be playoff teams. If Raleigh finishes with 61 home runs, which the day that I brought this up,
he should be the MVP.
I was having the conversation that I think that at that point, Raleigh would have to get the MVP.
I actually heard that.
I think it's unfair not to say that.
I'm with you. It's the Mariners. They never make the playoffs.
I don't even factor that in. Like that you shouldn't be penalized. That's not Aaron Judge's fault.
But I'm talking about the most valuable player. To take a team that doesn't go to the playoff to do, if you take him off that team, they have no shot.
Yeah.
If you take Judge off the Yankees, they're still a playoff team in all likelihood.
They don't. The Yankees, even though they've got pitching issues, like the Yankees have 4 or 5 guys with OPSs over 800. I believe Seattle, outside of Raleigh, only has 1.
By the way, the one thing I was going to say about Soto, we agree that he's down on average. Obviously, his career is 281. He's hitting 257. The other thing for me would be the lack of doubles. Because he's got 16.
Yeah.
Last couple of years, he had 30, 32, 32, 31. The difference is, though, you can make up for some of those lack of doubles with the stolen bases, which is something he hasn't had before. But those are, there are still ways for Soto to improve. I think you'll probably see the power numbers, I would guess, come down a little bit next year.
Yep.
But maybe the other stuff, the average goes up, the doubles go up, runners in scoring position average goes up.
Listen, dude, if Juan Soto stays here for the length of his contract, and who knows with the opt-out ability, we've gotten into that. We'll see what the Mets do, and then he gets $4 million more, whatever it is. But the thing about Juan Soto is that you can book it. He's going to have, 4 or 5 years here that go down as all-time epic Met seasons and ones that are basically among the best in baseball without a doubt. You know, the only, I meant to add this too, Hop, because, you know, one of the things that he has always been positioned as is the on-base person, like that, the great eye, right? So, okay, I don't get too wrapped up, although I do point out the RBIs. I don't get too wrapped up. It's OPS for me, and then it's whatever else people use as your greatest asset. And Juan Soto's greatest asset has always been his historical ability to get on his historical ability to get on base at a ridiculous rate. And he's still very, very high. But even with this tear, he's below 400 on base percentage, which at this point is about 20 percentage points lower than he did last year with the Yankees, and even a couple of years before that. So that's not, there are areas that are up undeniably, stolen bases, etc. I don't worry about doubles, whatever. That's not a big concern. But the on base is taking a little dent too. And for the guy who's always been
still third in the league.
I understand that. But that's his best thing.
Right, and it's down a little bit.
It's down a little bit.
Third in the league, but down a little bit. All right, BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019. Too bad Baldy didn't join us. 888-808-1019. 109, the number to call. We'll get back to the football calls and your baseball stuff on the other side.
New York sports is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. WFAN is the only place where Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Jets fans come together and sound off.
I like Soto. I like his attitude.
The Fan, 101.9 FM, and always streaming on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Some things are hard to commit to, like learning how to surf or saving for a family vacation. But one commitment that's easy, switching to Fios Home Internet with a 5-year price lock guarantee. That means 5 great summers of fast, reliable internet at the same low price. All with the Fios 1 gig internet plan. Plus no hidden fees or equipment charges. Call 1-833-VERIZON to switch today. Price guarantee applies to base monthly rate only for new and existing My Home customers.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Life's rewarding, especially with Flushing Bank's Complete Cash Rewards program. Just open a personal or business complete checking account to get started. With 29 New York Metro locations, there's nothing easier or more rewarding. Visit FlushingBank.com today. Member FDIC.
Hey! Oh! We're talking New York sports. WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York, and Odyssey Sports Station.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon. At 1 o'clock, I'm Andrew Bogish. Your Sports Flash is sponsored by Robert Half. At Robert Half, they found that 67% of companies want to increase contract talent. That's why the recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI work quickly to find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today. That's roberthalf.com/talent today. This was Brian Dable yesterday when asked who is officially Russell Wilson's backup.
Any roster decisions based on who's going to be the backup or who this player's going to we'll have that out there on Sunday.
Apparently today is Sunday because the Giants have released their depth chart for Week 1 and Jackson Dart is QB2. After that pit stop in North Carolina last night, Aaron Boone's in Houston as his Yankees start another important series. They and the Red Sox sitting 2.5 games behind the Blue Jays in the AL East. Toronto playing in Cincinnati while Boston hosts Cleveland. Max Fried, Framber Valdez on the mound for this 8-10 start. Pregame 7:30 here on the Fan. The Mets have a 6:40 start in Detroit on Odyssey Mets Radio. They are once again asking Nolan McLean to settle the starting rotation. Fan weather is sponsored by Flushing Bank. It is 74, partly sunny in Central Park, and that's what's happening. Sports Flashes, top of every hour. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Get connected with WFAN to talk about your favorite teams. The Fan on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
BT Sal Show on the Fan, presented by your Tri-State Cadillac dealers. Cadillac, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Mets. We talked some Mets, some Yanks. One thing that I do want to say, BT, is the Yanks starting a big series in Houston tonight. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but apparently Boone said just a few days ago that he had not considered having Giancarlo Stanton start in left field. And then tonight he is. Now, is it a big deal? No, not necessarily. But, like, is he managing the team or not? How could he say 3 days ago, whenever it was, I think it was Greg Joyce who tweeted it out. How could he say just a few days ago when asked, would you consider playing Stanton in left field and a shorter outfield in Houston? Mm-hmm. He says, no, haven't given it any consideration. The lineups come out or whatever. He's talking to John Boy ahead of the first game, and he's in left field. Like, that's a manager who, to me, is not in control of things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look at it that way. Maybe you give a different answer. Maybe it would have satisfied some people. But to me, you're dealing with the White Sox at that point. How many managers outside of the rotation are really looking at lineup configurations 3-4 games away? I don't know that many are. And if they are, then maybe that's a worse look for Boone than I feel. I don't think it's a big deal. I also think he's trying to get a sense of, like, where is Judge? Like, maybe there was just hope or he was getting close and... Well, and if you get Judge back, then you wouldn't have to consider playing him in Houston. Maybe it's just kind of day to day as the evaluation of Judge continues. I don't know.
Why not just say, yeah, it's possible?
Yeah, listen, there's probably a more direct route to just avoid, not controversy, but any pushback. But I don't, one thing about Aaron, I don't really think he cares. Like, I don't think he cares, like, what's dissected. I think if he really cared, he wouldn't come on the radio or do John Boy like he does. I think that he's kind of an open book with that stuff, and I don't think he gets too worked up over it. And I myself don't have an issue independent of how we handled, whether or not he would play him in Houston. It's one of the smallest ballparks in the majors. You got a 37-foot high fence in Boston. You got a 314-foot wall in Yankee Stadium in right field. The dimensions of left field for Houston, that is the place to play him.
Right, but what I think is the issue with it, it's not that he said one thing and did another. It's that people doubt that he's calling the shots to begin with. And then when he blatantly says one thing and then another happens, it makes you wonder, well, who told him to... If he himself... He knows about Houston and the dimensions. He
put him there in a playoff game.
So that's the point. So he knows that he's got to get both their bats in the lineup. He knows Judge is not going to be playing sooner than later.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just be like, it's possible. I mean, it wouldn't be my preference, but who's he kidding? So it makes me think that he didn't really give it any thought. And then the higher-ups... I mean, maybe it could coincide with Judge being on a heater, and then he's, instead of giving Stanton a day off or whatever, the Judge a day off. Who the hell knows?
I know what you're saying.
Maybe, but I would also think like maybe somebody said, "Hey, Aaron, here's what you got to do," and then he applies the data and puts Stanton left. I'm just saying that it leaves it open when he goes against what he said a few days ago, indirect or not, on purpose or not, whatever. It makes people question who's really running things there.
Well, did he go against it, or did he just give a little bit of a different answer? Going against it is, hey Skip, you given any thought to putting Stanton out in left field in Houston? No, it's not a good track. It doesn't. I'm not comfortable with that. That's very different than saying. I believe what the quote was a little different than that, right?
Here's the quote from Greg Joyce.
Go ahead.
Aaron Boone 3 days ago, quote, "No, I don't have any plans on playing him left in left there."
So it was, I don't have any plans. So that's more along the lines of just abruptly changing. I mean, listen, I could see why you would think he would be fed something from the analytics. I mean, I don't know, is it Fishman? Who the hell knows?
I'm just saying, it's not a big deal, but like, doesn't it make you think, he just said it 3 days ago. No, I don't have any plans there. Here we are, the first game he's playing in left.
Let me ask you this. Could he just have misspoken like he did with us with Aaron Judge? I mean, there's now we're trying to read his mind. When he said what he said to us.
But I don't think he misspoke. I think he was being truthful, and the truth got him in trouble.
With the Judge stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that he's not back yet tells you that his timeline was more in line with than Aaron Judge's.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not even trying to make an excuse for him. But like, if it was a big thing, I would say it. I don't think it's a big thing because I don't think that he makes every decision 100% by himself anyway. So if I've been of the mindset that it's far more collaborative than I wish it was with the Yankees, then why am I going to go nuts over it being collaborative if that's the point with Stanton playing left field?
One more thing on the Yankees. This happened over the break, but I want to get your thoughts on it now because I had an issue with it and I didn't have a chance to talk about it. Did you see his quotes, Boone's quotes about Volpe when he was asked about any thought about sending him down to the minors?
Yeah.
He said something like, on what planet should he be in the minors? Like, dude.
That's all.
I just don't understand. See, that to me, that thick-headed, bullish nature on Volpe in year and I'm not saying, like, at this point, I don't even care. Here's what I know.
It's not going to be a minor league season to send him down to anyway.
Was that?
Because it ends earlier.
Right, exactly.
You know? And he's starting to hit now.
It's September. There's 20-something games to go.
No, that ship has sailed.
My pushback would be, Aaron, like, you guys have tried it multiple ways. It's not working. There was a point where we thought he stabilized, and then again, right back down in the gutter. Like, I like Volpe. I'm rooting for him. I feel badly for the kid. He's not a kid. He's a major leaguer.
Yep.
There has to be accountability to where if he's not getting the job done, there are only responses that you can make. One would be to bench him. The other would be to send him down to get him right. Whether you should have done it 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, this year, like, that is a realistic part of the conversation. And he thinks we're aliens. And I'm saying we're me. I'm the one who said that Boone should be, that I'm not alone, that Volpe should be down in the minor leagues. Other people have said, I know you disagree with that.
But I said to bench him. Yeah. I didn't say just roll him out there every day and bat him seventh.
But he made it like it's like
preposterous.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what I think's preposterous? Running the kid out there game after game after game after game, expecting a different result when he can't hit and can't field. And then there's been some stabilization, thank God, to certain levels, but it's gone right back in the tank again. So there's been an up and down. Like, I think that's insane. 3 years with a kid who's supposed to be a top shortstop. You think it's insane to send somebody down to the minors or the thought of that? I think it's insane what you're doing. Like, insane. What planet are you on that you need to continue to watch Volpe and think that he's good? Good God, it drove me nuts. You know me, I love Boone, but like the idea that would be outlandish to send him down to the minors to me, with the way he's played.
Yeah. Well, all right, listen, I appreciate the energy because this has been a topic that we've had for a while.
Yeah.
I also think, to me, this is not the day to air that energy, only because the Yankees have won 7 of 8 and he had five hits over the weekend in Chicago. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Like, even though I never agreed with sending him down,
right, I
was absolutely looking for some sort of a solution. I would not have run him out there every single day, so we weren't that far apart. Here's why I think Boone does it. And I don't think it's good long-term for Volpe, but let me at least give you why I think he uses such platitudes or words that try to throw people off scent, even though we're obviously not taking the bait here. I think I think that Aaron Boone looked at Anthony Volpe most of this season and saw a broken spirit. And not that he stopped working hard, but it got so bad that I think that he sometimes overcompensates. That I think what Aaron's trying to do is with his words. This is like psychology 101. By communicating to us, even though we're not buying it, some might, he is hoping that residually that trickles down to Volpe, and it has a positive impact on Volpe by being so outlandishly positive about Volpe this year, as he has at points.
Right.
Too much. I think it's coming from a good place, trying to get him going so the kid doesn't melt.
I wish that was the case. I don't believe it.
I don't know either, but that's the only thing that I can think of.
Yeah.
Either that, or there's a little delusion.
Well,
or he's just which could be it.
And you're right.
He's trying to protect him, or a little bit of both.
Like, the rant today is not about Volpe himself. It's about the Yankees and their delusion. They are delusional to the highest levels. I don't understand it. Who's buying this crap? I think that they believe it. We all don't. Now, they could get away with it because they went to the World Series last year, because they're going to be a playoff team this year, probably win the division. Like, with all that being said, I've been pretty consistent with saying the Yankees are going to be a division-winning team, certainly a playoff team. I love their offense, but, like, acknowledge some of the reality here. Dude, it's year 3 for Volpe. He has had an awful season. This is by far his worst season.
It's a massive disappointment. Gravely disappointed. No other way to frame it.
Like you feel bad for him, but he's broken.
We have a bet. We got to do this at some point this week, by the way. We have to revisit
the over-unders.
Yeah. Well, we should do it. It's probably too late today because it's September 1. It would be a good day to do it. Our over-unders, and one of my over-unders was, I believe the number was 287 or maybe 290, like below 300 on-base percentage for Volpe. And I'm probably going to wind up winning every other one but that. I remember when I latched onto that, I'm like, this is a gimme, man. This is free money right here. You kidding me? Year 3, Grand Slam against the Dodgers World Series, a bunch of hard hits, even against the Royals and the Guardians, some that were caught, swung the bat well last October. You Yankee fans, you know what I'm saying. He swung the bat well. And I'm saying, this is a layup. This is a 2-foot. Yeah, pick up you don't have to putt that. Pick it up. It's good. I thought it was a layup, and it's not. So, but I will say this, Sal. I really believe this, right? Even though our job, and we do it with all the coaches, like earlier today I reacted to something Aaron Glenn said favorably, right? And we do that. We read Tom Thibodeau. We read, when he was here, body language. We react to what they say and how they coach. At the end of the day, pertaining to Anthony Volpe and the Yankees, it doesn't matter what Aaron Boone says. It really doesn't in this regard. It matters what we see coming out of spring training next year if the final month of the season and the playoffs are not appreciably better. Because that's what will matter. Not what they say, what they do. If Volpe's like he's been bad the rest of the way, and he's the unquestioned starter at shortstop next year, then the Yankees are absolutely nuts. And then they're just feeding us a bunch of junk. But if they come in, whether it's Caballero or some other backup, some other plan, Lombard makes the team. He's great. He plays short. I'm more concerned about actions. Right. That's what I'm saying when it comes to really anything. But specific to Volpe, the other stuff, what Boone says, whatever. We know he's had a bad year. Bad.
BT and Sal on the Fan, 888-808-1019, the number to call. We got Jackson Dart named QB2 ahead of Week 1, Giants, Commanders. Obviously, Jets taking on the Steelers. The Aaron Rodgers show coming to town yet again for one last time. What will be in store for that with Aaron Glenn starting his new regime? We got the kickoff Thursday night. Looking forward to that with the Cowboys and Eagles. So a lot going on. Amadeo has been holding on.
Rami Amadeo.
From Staten Island. What's up, Amadeo?
What's up, guys? Love your show. Just getting back to the Mets about Juan Soto. I mean, all the Juan Sotos in the world couldn't fix this team. I'll tell you right now with this pitching. You got Manai and Senga. These guys are a disaster. They're so hard to watch every game. Unfortunately, we got to score like a ton of runs to even get a win. It's ridiculous. I mean, what's going on with this team? I mean, it's going to be a problem come playoff time. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to fix this. I really know. We've got to score a ton of runs just to get a win.
Well, it's not going to work, though.
Game after game.
They're going to have...
Why can't we just...
Go ahead.
Why can't we just win a game 1-0? I would love to see that.
3-2.
A
little stress-free.
Yeah.
Because the starters aren't good except McClain. That's why. That's the answer. That's literally the answer. The Mets have had a historic August. Since 1962, they did things better this month, or last month, pardon me, than they've ever done in any month since the day the Mets were born in 1962. Now, granted, a lot of those teams were trash, but a lot of those teams were good. At least they had some weapons, right? And they still went 11-17. The hitters showed up. Soto's been phenomenal. Nimmo's been hitting bombs. I mean, Pete's on pace for 129 ribbies. Marte's hitting 340 in his last 20. Mullins hasn't done a bunch.
Vientos has woke up.
Vientos has absolutely woken up and provided a real jolt, more like the Vientos from a year ago. And the Mets lost a lot more than they won. It ain't the offense's fault. It's not like they're kicking the ball all around the field or just a comedy of errors on the bases. This is very easy to diagnose. Their starting pitching stinks. Where's the pitching lab? Did they not pay the rent on that? Like, did they shut the lab down? What happened to the vaunted pitching lab? I would like to know. That everybody told me the pitching lab is this, and they're going to recreate that. They're going to salvage this guy from the depths of despair. He's almost a AAA pitcher, but we're going to make him good again. What's up with the lab?
Well, first of all, there is no pitching lab.
But then why was everybody leaning on that when things were going well?
Well, because they were making something out of nothing. Now it's not even the nothing that they got. They're not making something out of nothing. Now the guys that were supposed to be mainstays aren't any good. So you're right. It's on them to fix. It's on David Stearns to improve. He made a bet that the guys that were here plus the youngsters were going to do the job. So far, it's the youngsters that have done the job, not the guys that were here. Minaya has been a disaster. Senga has been a disaster. Montas, obviously, disaster. We all said that was a stupid signing.
Dumb.
So Stearns, he did not get anybody else at the trade deadline, and the guys that he's betting on have not come through. I don't know if he was betting on or relying on McLean, but he's been the savior. Imagine where they'd be without him. Tong was only had one start, but at least he could give you maybe some length.
His presence, Tong, he's not going to be bothered by much.
Yeah, what
he's
you like.
A chill, calm customer.
So here's why I wouldn't go nuts about it is because I do think in the postseason it changes. We talked about this earlier where everything gets shortened. You cannot have Minaya and Senga continue to start. Like, that to me is asinine. You're asking for it. What do you think's going to happen? Hey, in 5 or 6 days from now, roll out Senga. What do you think's going to happen? The same thing that's been happening for 2 months. He's going to throw BP again. Minaya can be good for a short spurt. That's what he's done since he's been back. I'm going based off of what is happening now. Like, he can't give you any length. Even at Manaya's best this year, he's been a 4-inning pitcher of dominance. So move him to the bullpen, get Senga out of the rotation, and have to hope that Tong can do it again. In addition to McLean doing it again, Holmes is fine for what he is. You could piggyback him with the bullpen, and Peterson's going to have to straighten it out. Like, if they don't get it done, they're not going to win. End of story.
Yeah, and listen, the Mets, I think the Mets will have a couple of playoff games where they put up, 7-8 runs. Yeah, depending upon if they play for a month or so. If they play for one series, then I wouldn't bank on that. But if the Mets play a decent amount of October games and they go beyond one round, their offense is going to show up a few nights. I don't doubt that. But you're not scoring, 6, 7, 8 runs every night where it's going to offset this wretched pitching, not in October.
And I also don't think it's realistic to expect, even with a prolific offensive player in October like Soto, or Lindor's had moments, whatever you want to reference. But even with that, you're not going to hit your way. They aren't, certainly. They're not going to hit their way to a championship. The Mets aren't good enough to do that offensively. They're good. They've been better as of late. I have a hard time believing that this group is going to hit their way to a championship.
I probably agree with you. The one caveat would be, I do think that they can win a lot of high-scoring games if
in the playoffs.
Yeah, if there's the 7-6, even 6-5, 8-7, 9-7 game, and listen, they gave up they gave up 10 runs a couple times to the Dodgers in the playoffs, so it's not like runs weren't scored at all. They scored a bunch of runs off the Phillies a few games when Vientos and Pete were hitting home runs, so they're obviously capable of it. To me, as much as the starters must wake up and start carrying their weight they have to. I think that they can win some of those high-scoring games if the bullpen is completely in order and on lock. Because the Mets at that point, forget about Helsley, they will have 5 arms that you'd have to say that you pretty much trust. Obviously, you trust Diaz. Obviously, you trust Rogers. Now, varying degrees of trust, clearly. That's not Rogers is the same as Diaz, but you know what I mean.
Trust both those guys.
You have to trust Raley. I know you don't trust Reed Garrett. Neither do I. I wouldn't touch him.
But I'd still trust him more than I would, let's say, Senga taking a spot.
Yeah, but they've got...
Garrett's going to be, and I trust him more than Stanek. Garrett's going to be on the postseason roster.
I know he is. But, and then take one of the starters, whether it's Holmes or whomever you don't view deemable as a starter anymore.
I said Minaya.
Yeah, I think that there's enough arms to string this thing together and win some ugly games. Now, maybe you don't win a championship that way, but if you get that kind of recipe and McLean is the real deal, and I don't listen, man, I don't want to jinx a young man. I don't see how he's not the real deal. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to go out and be Bob Gibson like in 1968 with a 1-something ERA in the postseason or for the whole year, actually. This kid, he is the real deal. Now, I know that you might disagree because you had such and I get it, such a fascination and a love for Matt Harvey. We all watch, and he had the cool nickname, and he had a different persona than McLean. There is nobody that can tell me that Matt Harvey came out and had better pure stuff than McLean. I don't see it, and I don't believe it.
I just remember the first time I saw Harvey, he kind of came out of nowhere, where McLean, at least there was a lot of hype. With Harvey, it was not
Harvey was a first-round pick out of North Carolina.
Yeah, but it wasn't as much hype. Like, even then, it was more Zach Wheeler than anything else. And Harvey was, when he was on the verge of being called up, he wasn't very good in the minor leagues. And then he came up, and I just remember being blown away by the way he blew guys away.
He had an aura, too. He had a totally different presence.
That's it. But McClain,
stuff-wise?
McClain stuff is nasty. And I think he's got the right attitude as well.
He does.
So I don't want to compare him to Harvey. Yeah, but is it going to continue? The guys, he's had to have been perfect so far, which he's been.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tong. Like, okay, it's one start, but he did what he needed to do. Are they going to be able to do it every single time?
Well, the answer is no, because it's the best hitters in the world, and he's human, okay?
Right.
But don't you think the fact that McClain can, and I got to see more from Tong, but I love what I saw. McClain comes out, he gets a small sample, and he's basically thrown into the middle of this Mets mess.
Yeah.
Now, the Mets didn't say, all right, young man, go save our season, stabilize things, but you don't think as he internalized things, he knew what was going on. He knew about the losing streak, and he knew about, the 3 months of really poor play by the New York Mets after a good start. He knew that. And he came in undeterred, didn't blink, didn't flinch, gem. Oh, yeah, by the way, one was in Atlanta, which is a historical house of horrors for the Mets, and one was against the Phillies. Real deal.
Yeah, no, I get it. And they've needed not only that, they've needed Tong, and they might need Sproat before all said and done here.
Yeah.
Need. Not in addition,
nuts.
need these
nuts.
guys to help save their season. BT and Sal on the Fan Warrior calls when we get back. 888-808-1019, the number to call. It's football season, and you got to make Surfside your tailgate must-have. I mean, it's been the must-have around the pool, around the beach, but now it should be around the tailgate as well. It's real vodka, real brewed tea, only 100 calories and 2 grams of sugar, so you could drink them all day long. No carbonation, 0 bubbles. It's so good. You don't even taste the alcohol in it. You can drink them all day long. You don't feel the bloat or the hangover the next day.
You got enough Surfside merch, by the way? This guy's rocking a Surfside t-shirt. He's got a Surfside floaty. He got a Surfside cooler.
I have my
You really do.
Yeah, I do. And I truly do love it. It's easy to sip and enjoy. And remember, it's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Ask for it wherever you tailgate. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
There's a line drive right field. That ball is hammered.
The Yankees are in Texas taking on the Astros. 8:10 tonight. Driven by Jeep.
That was an extraordinary play.
Susan Waldman and Dave Sims call all the play-by-play. The home of Yankees baseball is the Fan. 101.9 FM and always live on the free Odyssey app.
I'm Chelsea Messenger, helping you beat the books with the BetMGM network. Play of the day is the Mets on the money line over the Tigers at -140. Mets starting pitcher Nolan McLean has been incredible since coming to the big leagues, posting a 3-0 record with a .89 ERA. The Tigers are one of the best teams in baseball, but over the last month, it's been the Mets with the much better offense. New York has the second best batting average as a team in the big leagues in August. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetM app. Please gamble responsibly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Step up to the plate with confidence with the Jeep brand's newest MVP, the all-electric Jeep Wagoneer S. Year after year, the Jeep brand has delivered game-changing technology and features to help keep you off the bench and on to your next adventure. By blending thoughtful luxury capability and advanced technology, the Jeep Wagoneer S is one key player that doesn't disappoint. Experience the brand new head-turning design and luxurious interior without sacrificing on the legendary performance you love. Excellent range capacity opens up the playing field, and with 4x4 capability, featuring select terrain driving modes, how you play the game is up to you. The interior cabin of Wagoneer S pays special attention to detail with high-quality luxury refinements and seamless connectivity that surrounds you in comfort, along with premium seating, ambient lighting, and over 170 standard safety and security features. And like most All-Stars, it can really motor, especially with standard 600 horsepower. It's rugged, plays aggressive, and isn't afraid to get dirty. And with the exciting offers and deals going on right now at your local Jeep brand dealer, it all adds up to Jeep Wagoneer S being a steal. So hurry in today and blast one out of the park. Jeep is a registered trademark.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zicam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zicam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zicam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zicam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zicam.com.
Talk New York sports on the Fan.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Listen weekdays from 1 to 2 on the Fan for the call of the day with BT and Sal, brought to you by Wind Creek Bethlehem. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for Michelin tires at the guaranteed lowest price? Get to Town Fair Tire. Michelin's innovative technologies are designed for durability and performance over any of the toughest road conditions, so you can trust you're getting the highest quality tires. And Town Fair's been a name you can trust since 1967. Now with over 120 locations and still growing. Because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Recovering from an addiction is an individual accomplishment. A young mother who chose recovery to care for her family. A high school athlete overcoming opioid addiction. A couple celebrating his recovery. Everyone's recovery is different, and there's no shame in asking for help. Call 844-REACH-NJ. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to help you find the recovery option that's best for you. Tell us your story, and let's begin your recovery today. A message from New Jersey Human Services.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's stepping into a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Get the scuttlebutt on your favorite team, the Fan, on the Odyssey, iHeart, and TuneIn apps.
You Giants will rock you, the Falcons will rock you, the Titans, Saints, and Vikings will rock you, Texans will rock you, the Dolphins will rock you. We will rock you, Steelers will rock you, the Packers will rock you, the Redskins will rock you, the Browns, the Chiefs, the 49ers.
BT and Sal back on the Fan. I'm playing with my helmets here at BT. I'm trying to organize. This break went too quick. You remember, it's been, look at all the dust on this thing here.
I thought you said helmets. I'm like, are you eating a sandwich?
No,
you said helmets.
my helmets. Yeah, my football. You know, I got to do the weekly schedule. If you're watching on YouTube, you could see it. This week in the NFL, and we're going over the first matchups here. Thursday night, obviously, we got the Cowboys and Eagles. Friday night, Chiefs and Chargers as the fun begins. And, of course, the full slate on Sunday. So we got to organize this here. We'll have that a little bit later on. But
by the way, have you seen the any of the Netflix Dallas Cowboys?
I gotta sit down and watch it. No, you watch the whole thing?
I'm 5 or 6 in. I don't know how many. It's phenomenal. The
Yeah,
footage is great.
You know what we've been watching? And I watched like the first 10 minutes of it, but I was like, I can't do this half-assed. I gotta lock into it. We've been watching a lot of Amanda Knox. You know the Amanda Knox story?
Yeah.
You familiar with that one?
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
of course.
There was one that came out like 10 years ago, which we went back and watched yesterday because there's a new series that's on Hulu about Amanda Knox. So I've been watching, I'm off, so I'm with my wife. I'm not going to watch the football stuff necessarily. I told you I watched that Jets one. Did you see that one yet?
You know what? The one on YouTube with the fans? I went. No, I think
it's on
the fans
Amazon.
Though, right? Yes, yeah. You did tell me.
It's last year. Has like Vera Tucker's featured on there, C.J. Mosley. It's like them and their wives.
I looked at it. I found the snippet on YouTube. Didn't move me too much.
It wasn't good. I mean, I think you should probably watch it just to watch, but I kind of half-assed watching that too because it just wasn't very good. But I was into that. There's another one. Oh, did you watch Hard Knocks at all or no?
Yeah, I watched the first two.
Okay,
I always watch.
Yeah, but I mean, the first two isn't it over now? Or the four out there?
I'm saying I'm behind. I didn't watch them all.
Okay.
Like I usually. Yeah, some people don't watch them at all. I still enjoy it, and I enjoy when the first two come out because now it's like, the season's still a couple of weeks away. To me, that's a good bridge to get excited, even though it's not the Jets or the Giants. And the music, the stories, a little overdone with the third-string tight end who you learn too much about who gets cut anyway, whatever. But I liked it. Oh, I got another show for you as well. Not anything to do with football. Running Point. Are you a Kate Hudson fan? Kate Hudson?
Why do I feel like maybe I've seen the commercial. I am a Kate Hudson fan, and I've heard about this. Now, what is it about?
It's a fictitious, supposed to be the Lakers. They're called the LA Waves, and she becomes the president of the team. And she's supposed to be Ginny Buss, I guess. Is that Netflix? Hold on a second. I think that's Netflix as well.
Okay, Running Point.
It's good. It's funny. It's almost like a little Entourage meets... I was going to say like a weird comparison. Friends meets. It's funny. It's good. The basketball scenes are believable. Like it's cool. It's a good show.
It looked pretty good, and I am a big fan of Kate Hudson.
I was huge.
Yeah.
When she was with A-Rod.
I was going to say that. Great, you went there. Did that come up at the...
when we went to lunch? I just asked about J-Lo. I didn't ask about... I'll ask about next time we get together. I'm actually more interested in Kate Hudson than I am about J-Lo from A-Rod.
Interested in both. There's also one more documentary supposed to come out.
Okay.
I don't know if it's out or coming out. Bill Belichick in North Carolina. It's
on Hulu, I think it is,
Is
right?
it out already or not?
I don't think it is.
Because that I want to watch, although they got crushed last night.
Did you see the savage quote tweet from TCU, who, as we know, drilled North Carolina last night?
No, refresh me. What they say?
North Carolina put out on their verified football account.
They went up 7-0, dude. Jordan in the building. LT. I'm like, here we go.
Jordan
Bill.
was there too. Mia Hamm, all UNC luminaries. So I guess UNC put this out yesterday. I don't know what date it is. So and so coming to Hulu. Blah blah blah. UNC football. And then TCU just parachutes in, quote tweets and says, "Can you please let us know when the first episode is?" Because they know they're going to focus on his first game and they get their teeth kicked in. They got absolutely, dude. This is not going to go well for Bill Belichick.
See, I'm not going there
North
yet.
Carolina.
I'm disappointed. I got myself in a college football pool. My buddy Jimmy Trainer runs it, and it's cheap, easy action. So I'm back in I wanted to have vested interest in college.
Yeah, I get that.
So I do 5 picks a week. So I was in Texas, Ohio State.
Who'd you have that game?
Ohio State.
Attaboy.
It should have been my best bet this week. I was actually pretty good. I went 3-2 because I bet with my heart North Carolina last night. But I had South Carolina. Their quarterback looks pretty darn good. I thought Arch Manning, we were getting ahead of ourselves with anointing him.
Dude, he had no points with 6 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, I know. The anointing him. Like, I like Sarkisian. I get it. And they'll be better. But Ohio State's a perennial powerhouse.
Their corners, their defense is ridiculous.
I had Miami as well against Notre Dame. So those are my 3 wins.
You did have Miami.
Either way,
okay.
so I'm trying to get back into college. The problem is, dude, like, single Sal can watch college football all day long.
I was happy, Sal.
Yeah. Single in the city. I mean, it's like, I had enough of the family over the weekend.
I can imagine. You were locked in, strapped in for a couple days, bunkered down with everybody.
It was a nice vacation. Great to spend time with the family. I'm ready to be back.
Yeah, I said the same thing to my wife yesterday. I'm like, I can't wait to go back to work. I did say that at one point.
See you later. Good.
And it's not so much about her, the kids. The way I am wired mentally, when I have too much idle time, I get bored, I get restless, and I overthink stuff. Like there's only somebody around. Bad golf I could go on. I played twice there, played poorly. I had a good time, whatever. So only so many seltzers by the fire that I can have and hang out.
Stay clear of stray golf balls?
I did not get hit.
Okay.
God, I played awful.
Important. All right. That's all right.
It's not all right. I played awful. I mean, I stung the ball a few times with you, and I just played terribly. Point being, I don't know what I'm going to do when I retire. Like that, like whenever that is a long time down the road, I can't just not do anything.
Yeah. I'm fine with not doing anything, honestly. I want to not do anything with nobody else around. That's the issue. It's me it's the dog. It's even last night I tried to enjoy the final day in the pool, and the dog is rolling around in the dirt. So then what do you think happens? My wife comes out and says, you see him? I'm like, no, what happened? And he's all brown. He's got all the dirt all over the place. So now I have to give him a bath. I wanted to sit there and watch the North Carolina game, relax, enjoy myself after watching the Mets in the afternoon.
It was
I gotta
funny.
Give him a bath.
It was funny, Maddox. It was funny to see Mrs. Licata, when she needs Sal to do something around the house, the tone is very direct, and Sal responds accordingly. Not that you jump out on the snap of a finger, but let's just say that you're not ignoring her the way I thought maybe you would.
Part of playing the game.
The long game.
Let her think she's in control. She if you ask her,
she seems in control.
Yeah, she thinks she's in control.
She seems like she's in control with certain things.
Yeah. When everybody leaves.
Although when everybody leaves, there you go.
She says that Sal thinks he's in control.
Yeah, right.
She asked you to do one thing that was so benign, and we're all in the pool at this point. I think the wives were sitting at the table. I think the kids were with us in the pool. Me, you, and Hoff were in the same vicinity having a surf side, right? And I forget. I think it was something with the dog, and it was a very simple request. And you basically said, "I'm not doing it." And I'm like, "Oh boy, that is basically the same thing that I would have said at that point." And you held me ground on that one. You were pretty firm on that one.
Get the hell out of here. We're doing
I'm
some
in the
surf
pool.
side.
Get lost.
I ain't getting out. All right, BT and Sal, the fan. Jeffrey's in the Bronx. What's up, Jeffrey?
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Hey,
good.
What's up, buddy?
I have a question for both of you. I don't want you to be biased. If you had to draft a team, and you had a choice, Schlittler or McLean or that guy from the Mets, Afina from the Mets, who would you pick and why?
Oh man,
God
that's an
almighty,
impossible question.
that's a really tough one.
Good one though, Jeffrey.
That's a great question. It's a fun conversation. All right, so here's the one thing. Now, they both have amazing stuff. The fact that Schlittler, and I'm not even sure if he's my answer, because McLean has looked a little more dominant in his three.
They're both different too. McLean with the spin stuff.
Yeah, that's part of the deal. I believe that there's a better chance, because this is part of the equation as well, of Schlittler holding up mechanically because he's longer. And he uses that's not even 100% true, because there's examples to the contrary. I mean, Schlittler throws a little bit harder. The ball's on you quicker because he is so lean and so long. So his just release point's different. Dude, honestly, I don't know if I could pick one. I think that they both have a chance to be top flight aces and all-stars.
So maybe the way that you would say it would be, which one, if you could pick right now, and I forget the exact way the caller
to pitch a game in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, they're both going to be pitching a game in the playoffs.
But would you trust more? Were you going to frame it that way or no?
No, I mean, I guess if you were going to bet on which one would have the better career or start your franchise now, not necessarily who's better right now, whatever. You're going to pick one to start your franchise. Like McLean's been dominant. He's been dominant for 3 games.
No, I know. But Schlittler only has 9. I'd like to see a few less walks from Schlittler.
Right. I mean,
just a few less walks. I mean, they're really both pretty filthy. And the best part about this is that they both seem very emotionally in control.
Right.
And very stable. And I was looking at some of Schlittler's advanced stuff on Savant earlier. I mean, there's a ton to love. His four-seam fastball averages 97 miles per hour. It's in the 98th percentile in baseball. It's incredible. And then you watch, and McLean doesn't quite throw that hard consistently, but he throws hard. But then his secondary stuff is just biting and filthy and seemingly unhittable. I think the real key is when the league gets a book on each of them, what kind of adjustments do they make? But in terms of pure stuff, I honestly don't know if I can distinguish between the two. I really don't know if I can.
Especially, I'm afraid to say I'm just being honest with you. I'm afraid to say McLean because then it's going to who's the best fan? Of course, he's going to say McLean. Here's why, or vice versa, if you want to say Schlittler. Here's why. McLean, to me, has been more dominant, but it's only been 3 starts.
I agree with that.
So who the hell knows? But I would value dominance as opposed to, Schlittler throws harder and McLean's got the spin rate. It has nothing to do with the spin rate or anything like that. I do think they're both wired to succeed here long term.
Yes.
So that's an important part of it. McLean, he's got that cowboy. That was his nickname, Cowboy Ohtani, because he was a position player before that. You know his story a little bit?
Yeah, I did. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that familiar with it myself, but just learning about it as we go here.
Yep.
But, dude, an ERA under 1 in his first 3 starts. He was given some length as well.
I know. Against teams that, and and in venues that have not always been kind to the Mets. Atlanta.
Hard to choose between those two, but the fact that he went 7 and 8 innings, respectively, last 2 times out, doing it against the Phillies, 8 scoreless against the freaking Phillies.
Yeah. I think if Schlittler can get to the point where he's a little more economical and there's just fewer walks,
right,
then I might lean with him, But yeah, he also just learned to cutter. And so the aptitude, and I don't know what McClain's, what pitch did he learn most recently? I don't know. But there's an aptitude. I'm not saying McClain doesn't have it, but for Schlittler to pick up a cutter in spring training and for it to be dominant tells you that he might have a repertoire that's already 6 pitches that could be even a 7th pitch at some point.
Yeah. I'm not knocking Schlittler, certainly, and I'm not putting McClain in the Hall of Fame yet. Based on the small sample size, 9 starts for Schlittler, 3 starts for McClain, I would probably side with McClain's dominance because he has given you at least 2, maybe even all 3, true ace-like outings, meaning 7, 8 innings in the last 2 of dominance, and the walks are limited. Whereas with Schlittler, he's got nasty stuff, he's got the high power, and he's certainly settled down and gotten better. 6 2/3 his longest start, and the walks. Those
I told you the walks, yeah. I also think that, right now, if you said, all right, McClain, Game 1, AL, and at wild card or whatever, or Schlittler, I feel like I'd have a little more confidence in McClain at this point, just a little. Now, because I do agree, his 3 starts have proven to be more dominant than Schlittler. Close, but more dominant. I think that's I could delineate that. That's an easy one for me. What I think could be a slight advantage for Schlittler is that he's stepped on the rubber 6 more times, and while he hasn't quite been as dominant, they haven't figured him out. And I'm not saying that they'll figure out McClain, but until you see the extra 6 starts, there's more evidence that Schlittler is maybe not even staying power because it's an impossible question to answer. It really is.
And it's a great problem to have here in New York that we got Yankees got Schlittler, their guy, and Mets have McClain, so it's exciting to think about. But you're right, Schlittler has more on tape because he's done it longer.
I know this does nothing for this year, but don't think I haven't thought about next year with Garrett Cole coming back with that elbow, like a robot, ready to rock and roll with the new bolts.
Fried,
think about that a little bit. What do you mean never know?
Well, I'm saying year to year, you never know.
Garrett Cole's going to be fine.
No, but then somebody else could go down. Yeah, you just never know. BT, it said just enjoy the now. Enjoy Schlittler and his peak, and for the Mets, McClain, because you don't know. All right, BT Sal on the fan will finish up on the phones, 888-808-1019. The city's biggest indoor pickleball event is coming back October 10th and 11th, and it will sell out. Sign up for the fun or for the cash prizes. Go to 1010wins.com/pickleball for all the info. The pickleball tournament is presented by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
It's Keith McPherson at night on the Fan, 101.9 FM.
As a manager, getting to know his potential closer, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to get the first crack at it. He let this guy go out and finish the job, and I'm telling you, that type of stuff the team can build off of.
Listen to Keith McPherson on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Andrew Perloff with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Trying to grade trades in the moment is tough. For the most part, the Cowboys were crushed for dealing Micah Parsons to the Packers. But we now know Parsons' back injury could be a real issue. He may need an injection to play this week. Puts a different perspective on the trade and Parsons' huge new contract. Hopefully the new Green Bay star is fine, but it's a reminder, we can't rush to judgment even when trades seem very lopsided. I'm Andrew Perloff.
Paid for by term provider. Premiums will vary. Plans depend on age, location, and other factors. Visit BigLoot.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands millions of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
Here we go. Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. This is incredible. Watch your local NFL game live all season long. And he's in for a touchdown. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
4 distinct all-electric Cadillacs. Some drive them for performance. Others drive them for the range. And some drive them because it's the only way to make an entrance. 3 different ways to turn every drive into an occasion. Whatever your reason, there's never been a better time to say, let's take the Cadillac. The all-electric Cadillac family of vehicles. Escalade IQ, Vistic, Optic, and Lyric. Visit your Tri-State Cadillac dealer today.
Get ready for more BT and Sal on the Fan.
Lunch was great. Greenwich Village is a fun spot.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
Get away to the Atlantic City in Waterboat Show. 4 days only, September 4th to the 7th at the Golden Nugget Marina. See the new boat models from all the major manufacturers. Buy $15 advance tickets at acinwaterboatshow.com. See you there.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing your schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Town Fair Tire became New England's #1 discount tire dealer by giving you the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. And with over 100 stores from Connecticut to Maine, we'll beat anybody's price. Other dealers, we beat them. Warehouse clubs, we beat them. Online sites, we beat them all every day. So remember, for the absolute guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Call of the Day with Brendan Tierney and Sal Licata on The Fan.
Today's Call of the Day is brought to you by Edison Heating and Cooling, New Jersey's heating experts. Ray is in Babylon starting us off. What's up, Ray?
I can't wait. I'm going to say this at the end of the season or even in mid-October. I'm going to say, I can't wait because this Jet team, I'm going to declare it, September 2nd, 2025, we're going to the playoffs.
Here we
and
go.
we're going to do it. And we're going to do it on the shoulders of this.
With Zach.
Yes, we are.
Yep, no,
we're going to do it on the shoulders of this offensive line. We got a healthy Tucker. You know, Pittman, I think, is going to show us some real blocking that we're going to need for Fields. And I'm telling you, this offensive line is a line that's full throttle. They're going to blast through the NFL. And I'm telling you, I'm declaring it, this offensive line is going to carry this New York Jet team to the playoffs. I can't wait till Sunday.
Listen,
and one other point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't wait. Ray, I can't wait for your calls back after week 3 when they're 0-3. But
He's going to have to amend it? Come on, Ray. Stay firm, Ray.
I can't wait, Sal.
You like the excitement there from Ray? And
Speaking my language, brother.
I was going to say, I didn't know I was talking to BT or Ray there.
It's not delusional. Jets have a really, listen, the Jets have a really good O-line. I was looking at this earlier, and this is part of the reason why, this is actually a massive part of the reason why I think the Jets could be good this year. They finally invested resources up front. So Fashanu on the left side is 22. He's a first-round pick. We know about Johnson. Now, John Simpson's a little bit banged up, but he came from the Ravens and the Raiders before that. John Simpson's a good left guard, and he's pretty young, mid-20s. Joe Tippmann, second-round pick. He's 24. I like him at center. We know about AVT. It's never about is he good. It's can he stay healthy. 26 in his prime, first-round pick. And Membu is a 21-year-old first-round pick, top 10 out of Missouri. Like those guys, and then you have the good running backs, and now and really to me, it should open up a window for some gash plays with Fields. Like the more you sell out to stop the run, the more Mason Taylor or somebody else is wide open or a fullback. You're like, wow, where's the defense? Well, because they've been getting their heads crushed all day in the running attack, that they lose sight of a basic assignment. And I think the Jets are going to have more gash plays this year with Fields than with Rodgers.
I'm all for a more competitive, more disciplined, more buttoned-up season from start to finish. I think the talk or the idea of playoffs is just not, like, I don't think the Jets are in that conversation yet. It doesn't mean that they can't. The Giants weren't in that conversation, to your point, a few years ago, but they made it. But we saw what happened there. I don't think the Jets are, I think the idea is to build to that level. And this year, if you could win 7-8 games, but show that you're building to that level, then I would be excited about next year. Maybe they get their own quarterback in, your rookie quarterback. Like, there are going to be many steps to the building up process from where they're at. It fell flat on their face. They went all in for Rodgers, which I wanted them to do. You wanted them to do it as well. It didn't work out. Okay. I would have liked them to bring back Aaron Rodgers. I understand why they didn't. It's a totally different regime, new feel. I don't think do you think that they're better than the Bills?
No, I don't think they're better. But it doesn't mean they can't beat him because they always beat him at least once. But no,
I mean,
of
like,
course not.
I mean, to win the division. I'm talking about win the division.
No way.
Okay, so that takes them. I agree.
They're not winning the division.
Okay, they're not winning the division.
I'm thinking last wild card.
Okay, but that means that they're going to have to win one of the 3 wild card spots.
Do you like the way Miami's going right now? Actually, you asked me. Go ahead. I'm saying.
Do you think that they're better than the Steelers or Bengals?
Well, we're going to learn a lot about the Steelers coming up this week. My answer, gut, right now is probably not. Probably not. The Bengals, I know everybody's fixated on Burrow and he's a beast. That defense stinks. And I'm not even sold on the coach. So I don't think the Bengals now are they. I don't even think they're playing head to head. I don't think they play each other. Do they play the Bengals this year?
No, I just put
I don't think that they do off the top of my head. But I don't think the Bengals are a team that's going to win 12 or 13 games.
Well, they
I don't
might,
think. Maybe they do. But my point is, I don't think they're going to have a gaudy win total. Like I don't look at the Bengals.
They do play the Bengals week 8. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that defense there, the Bengals, and we'll get the more immediate answer, which is good. But the defense in Cincinnati is so porous that I don't think that they'll be able to win 13 games or so. Like a number that is so beyond reach.
Even in a bad year, they won 9 games a year ago and missed the playoffs. Like that could be another conversation. How many wins do you think it's going to take to get in? The Bengals won 9 games last year and didn't get in. You might need to get in with 10.
Well, if it's 10, then I'd say the Jets aren't probably. If it's 9, really, this is all based on what I said. Because there's a point before the point My main point is I expect late November, first week of December-ish, where you're watching the games on the couch, and you know how they say in the hunt, they put the standings up, and it's not just the gratuitous, like, all right, let's put a 4-win team up there because everybody's still in the hunt because nobody's mathematically eliminated yet, but it's more along the lines of Jets have cranked out a couple of wins. They're not among the best teams at all. They're a step or two below the teams that are locks for wild card, and if they get a little hot and get a little lucky, maybe they can mess around and get one. I honestly feel that.
Maybe in the NFC, I would agree with you. I think the AFC. Raiders, I expect to be better. Now,
than the Jets or just better than they've been?
Better than they were last year.
I agree with that, too.
Yeah, I mean...
But that doesn't mean they're going to be better than the Jets.
No, but I think that they're going to be better than they were a year ago.
Yep.
So, and I think that they could be better than the Jets. The Broncos, I think, are legit. The Chargers, even with Slater getting hurt, the offensive lineman...
They're going to miss him. He's a stud.
Yeah,
Slater.
but
they
still got more than enough. And
a great
Harbaugh's
coach.
An excellent coach.
I got you.
Obviously, the Chiefs. But just say you have 3 teams in the West competing for a playoff spot. I think the Jaguars can be better this year. Now, again, how good? I don't know. But, I mean, they're starting at a good point where they have a very good quarterback with Trevor Lawrence, right? He's a quarterback.
He's good. Is he very good or is he good?
Well, he's better than Justin Fields.
Understood. But, the Jets' defense is better than the Jaguars. I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is so good, why the hell are we sitting here saying, did they pick the right guy or is the hype justified?
That's 4 teams right there. I'm going to leave out the Browns, Titans, Colts. I don't think are going to be any good.
No.
The Bengals and Steelers. That's another 2 teams right there.
What about the Dolphins and Pats? How about the 2 teams in the division?
I think the Pats are going to be better than they were last year.
I agree, but will they be good? Like
I think they're going to be better than the Jets. I do.
Listen. They almost always are. So I'm not going to even just say that the Jets are. But like
they're going to be they're going to be well coached.
I know.
They've got a quarterback now.
I wanted Vrabel, so I love Vrabel. And I'm not looking past them. And they do have some components on defense, and they got an interest. Yeah, I get it. But I also look at an AFC East where I'm saying, all right, the Bills, the Bills are no longer ascending.
Right, could the Jets be second in the AFC?
Could they be? I mean, I think Miami has a new coach next year. I think McDaniels is gone. And the Pats are not ready to win 9 or 10 games. The Pats don't have the O-line the Jets have, and I don't think they'll run it the way the Jets do. And I don't think they've got the Jets defense.
Well, to be a playoff team, they're going to have to be second in the AFC. There's no way they're going to make the playoffs and be a 3rd team in the AFC.
Yeah, probably. So in the East, you mean, right?
Maybe,
in the East.
That's what I meant.
I
AFC
agree with you.
East, I'm sorry.
I agree.
So then maybe that's what we should do is lock in on, okay, well, we know the Bills are going to win the division. Can the Jets leapfrog the Dolphins and the Patriots, and then from there see the rest of the landscape of the AFC?
I think there's at least enough of a chance rooted in reality and not delusion where I could say, I don't know if I'll be right, but I also know the Jets lost last year 10-9 to Denver, 23-20, 25-22, 28-27 against the Colts. Now, if you have a real coach and some discipline, those could be wins. That could be the difference.
Either way, we're excited for it. Football season. All right, thanks to Dove, thanks to Hop, thanks to everybody who listened and called. We appreciate each and every one of you. Back again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Enjoy the action. Tonight, Evan and Tiki, they're coming up next.
Baseball heartbreak, football glory. WFAN covers every win, loss, and headline from the Yankees, Mets, Jets, and Giants. The Fan, 101.9 FM and